know if I have any others. So this is-
Hey everyone! Welcome to the game where nothing. This is the first time we've gone live. Nothing happened before this at all. Absolutely.
Totally.
There was definitely not an hour of me wanting to break my computer. Nope. No, sir. Not here, sir. So, welcome to hopefully the full episode 9 of Drusatta Rise of Legend. We unfortunately have had a long time off because the months of May and June fucking suck. And sadly, we will not have Ivan with us today due to some scheduling conflicts, but he should be back sometime in the future. We wish him well, obviously.
One note.
Yes,
May
announcements.
does not suck. May does not suck. That's what my birthday is.
Well, it's also my birthday, too.
Hating. Okay.
It's my birthday, too. It fucking sucked. It was terrible. It was awful. Everything was terrible.
It was just hot.
Yes. So, any announcements that you guys are going to be saying for the first time and definitely not repeating yourselves?
Join my channel on Friday and Saturday nights, and you just dropped the stream.
No.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Don't even joke.
No.
It's-
Oh, you said you're now hosting Flynn.
No,
I'm showing-
it's still
no.
up on my end.
Yeah. No, I'm seeing
Hosting
it.
Flynn on
It's,
my end.
Yeah, hosting Flynn on mine. Hold on, I'm refreshing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm
Yeah, it
Okay,
was.
We're back.
I swear to God, dude, you just
Literally, it just popped up with Flynn.
It did for me as well. So it wasn't just him.
Join my channel on Friday and Saturday
My
night
God.
for Sophia's and Yelin, respectively, 7 Central Standard Time, usually.
See, Emerald with metal.
God, I fucking hate you so
That
much.
was just perfect timing for
It
when
was.
he said it. Because I saw the exact same thing. I was like, and Flynn.
I
I'll refresh so you can
fucking
get it.
hate you guys
And
Oh,
so
good,
adjust
Josh.
much.
my fucking camera fucking settings again, because fuck you, camera.
Okay, so yeah, our usual announcements. Thursday, Friday, Saturday games over on Metal's channel. Exclamation point Metal in the chat to get the link to his channel.
And Saturday right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Will's MIA.
yes, just remaining with Friday and Saturday as of right now, just until Will gets back. But without any further ado, let us. Am I in DM mode? Do that real quick.
What happened last session, Chilii?
Yes, I'm going to now recap the first session for the first time. I've definitely
First
not
session?
the last session. I should say I've definitely not said this before, so it's totally cool because this is brand new and I've never said it. Let me just pull this up real quick. So last time we met our team, the group had been traveling through an area known as the North Pine Forest, where they had overcome a couple of trials and tribulations, mostly dealing with a Roven Beastmaster named Akoki. From there, they kind of tracked her down as she was in possession of an artifact known as the Lost Crown of the Sisters, which has gone missing, leaving a lot of questions unanswered within the group. But from there, they have freed Akoki from the hold of the crown and have since brought her back to her tribe for a trial for the action she committed under the influence of the crown. Thanks to the party, however, she was spared. She was spared an execution, and instead was exiled out of the North Pine Forest. And as we left off, the party had just gone through Doncaster, gathering supplies with Akoki with them, and they were currently on the
road. With us.
What was
She
that?
didn't come with us into
She
the city.
skirted.
She skirted the city.
Yes, she skirted around Doncaster as she wasn't quite welcome as the rest of the group was. They then met on the eastern side of Doncaster, and are currently heading down the coastal byway, which is the main thoroughfare that runs around the coast of northern Arcalia. Before we cut out last time, the group was a day into their 3-day journey towards Newsham, and Carrick, using his free time to channel his inner divinity, has taken a old long neck rifle and has used his abilities to transform it into a short sword, which he has then presented to Faywin. And I believe that takes us current.
Per request.
Yes, per request. So, you guys wake up the next day and begin to head out. I need someone to make another perception check. If someone is assisting, you can get advantage.
Yeah, I can assist.
Okay, cool. Okay, so as you guys are walking the second day, you guys are heading kind of in a southeasterly fashion. The main road does run down the coastline. What you do notice, though, as you keep heading, there's the occasional side road that kind of juts out. Let me jump over this map. That juts out here and there from the coastal byway. But you do notice that there's one path that kind of leads up into a little foothill, and far beyond you see that there is a small barn area. But other than that, this actually road seems kind of deserted.
I attacked the barn. I'm kidding.
From where you stand, it's about probably 300 feet away.
I can throw my hammer that far. I'm strong. Do we see any movement around the barn?
Make another perception check.
Sure.
Yeah, you see a couple people. You see people kind of bending over in the fields, seem to be doing some sort of manual work. You see about 2 figures from where you stand who just seem to be kind of milling around the field doing something.
Normal people.
From what you can tell, yeah.
Sure. We will continue on.
Okay. So,
Has a
Like that
cookie
storyline.
joined us?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a cookie is with you at this point.
Cool.
Basically, as soon as you guys left Doncaster, she rejoined the group.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys continue on. You guys rest up for the night, and as of right now, probably once you wake up, probably in about 4 hours, you'll reach Newsham. You guys have any plans for the night before we get there?
Yeah. I'll sit down next to a cookie.
Okay.
So, how's it feeling being exiled from your people?
She kind of looks at you and kind of has like a 1,000-yard stare. I don't feel any different, but I wonder if it just hasn't hit me yet. And she kind of looks off over your shoulder towards the forest. I mean, I've been outside the forest before. This isn't anything new, but just knowing I can't go back is just... I don't know. I can't really process it yet, if that makes sense.
I haven't been back to my people in over 5 years.
Were you
Won't
exiled?
feel any different.
Were you exiled too?
In a ways. Self-inflicted.
I see.
He's
Well-
so funny.
At least you had a choice.
I did.
I mean, I don't know what you guys are complaining about. Exile for me was just really fun.
Wait, you're exiled too?
Well,
I'm not.
when you kill a, soldier in the army, they tend to not like it very much.
You see her kind of side-eye you a little bit and just scooch back about a pace. Yeah, I see. And she turns
It's
to
okay.
she
Just a
turns
part of the
to
job.
she turns to you, Carrick and Faywin. Are you all exiles?
No, I'm
No.
here on a mission. So,
Oh. Fair enough. It's a very... She kind of scans over all your faces. Kind of, for the first time, really taking in the group. It's kind of a odd assortment of people.
well,
Trust
my
me.
mission doesn't involve any of these.
Is that a short joke?
No. I just meant I've never really seen... I mean, she looks to you, Carrick and Faywin. I've heard stories about your people. I mean, supposedly we're descendant from you. Never really met anyone. And she looks to you two. We've had encounters with people from Bulgrim, but I've never met any of the short folk. It's
Aye,
mostly-
we don't usually like the water.
That makes sense. Well, I do appreciate you guys taking me in. You didn't have to do that. Especially after what I'm sure I did to you under that damn crown's influence.
Wasn't
Eh,
you?
it could have been worse. No one died.
Exactly.
I'm
And
pretty sure people
after
died.
people died, but it
We
wasn't.
didn't
I mean,
die.
none of us died. I don't care about the other people.
After what the crown did to you, and after what your people did because of it, yeah, felt only right.
Well, thank you. I truly appreciate it. I haven't been to Newsham in decades. I just hope I still got a warm reception.
You can either find a place for you to settle down, or you can stay with us for a while.
Suppose that makes sense.
Although I don't know if he's going to be welcome in Newsham. Looking at the panther.
Oh, I suppose you're right. Well,
We
I mean,
fine.
he came with me last time, but that was, oh man, that was about 70 years ago.
Things changed in the human cities in that time.
Yeah. We've had traders come back and forth from Newsham, even from Belcliff. It's just they're never really the same as time goes on.
A short lifespan the humans have.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
What?
You mean a normal lifespan?
She kind of looks at you, and you see she kind of has like oh, like in her eyes as she realizes like what like I mean no offense. It's just
It's fine. I don't take offense to anything.
oh, well, like
As she loads her gun.
nothing offends me. All right. Oh, well, then I guess we probably better get to sleep. Newsham's just a few hours away.
Indeed. Do you remember anything from the last time you were there?
The last time I was there, it was a relatively well-off city. It's full of traders. It's one of the few cities that's a port, at least in the northern part. There was a bit of struggle going on with the Baron at the time. I don't really remember his name, but a lot of people didn't like him.
70 years ago, he's probably dead.
I'd assume so by now. I remember last time I left, there was talk of people planning a rebellion, but you hear about rebellions almost every other decade.
I've tried to avoid the civilization on this continent.
Yeah.
That's why I was in Doncaster. Nobody wants to go there.
No, they don't. It's actually one of the reasons why our settlement was so close to it. We knew we wouldn't have a lot of intrusion from any humans or any other of the Arcalians.
I just don't understand why they built it there and not 50 miles down there where it was near the beach and all the resources they could possibly need. What stupid humans.
I mean, 300 years ago, that was a beach.
Was this Doncaster founded 300 years ago?
Just about. It was a fishing village. And then just
I mean,
that...
when it starts getting shitty, you just pick up and move, don't you?
They tried, but picking up meant they just built their buildings higher. And the tide just kept coming in.
Aye. Well, let's not dwell on the stupidity of humans.
That's...
Didn't they just build a floodgate? They have them everywhere.
Ivan kind of retreats a little bit as he's just hearing this human bashing.
I mean, we could also dwell on the stupidity of elves, arguing over mundane things for hundreds of years, but let's not.
They don't argue over things for hundreds of years. They think about arguing over things for hundreds of years.
True, and then they do it. for another 100 years. Because that's nothing.
You see Akoki kind of raises a finger. Fair.
I just shake my head at her. I just like, no.
Just-
no.
Yeah, she just thinks to herself, that's fair. And then she just kind of nuzzles up next to her panther, and she's kind of begins to doze off. Okay, Carrick, you're reading your book about taverns?
Yes, I figured I would do some research since we were heading to Newsham to see if there were any taverns. Check out which taverns, if there are any in the book.
Okay.
You know, find a decently priced tavern. once we got
Make
there,
an
or
investigation check.
Investigation.
Okay. As you're kind of reading through it, there are a couple within Newsham. It's a bit of a smaller town, but it does have a couple taverns here and there. It's a port city, so it does have most of them in the dock district. But the one you do manage to find, which is pretty much the tavern, is a tavern known as the Drunken Dragon, and it's found in an area known as what's the name? Light Watch, the Light Watch district.
Light Watch. Okay.
Yes.
The taverns in this book, they're all reviewed on the perspective of one person, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
And from
So the name of it was what?
the
what dragon?
Drunken Dragon. So as you read, kind of the way it's written, it talks a little bit about the like standard fare food, nothing too extravagant, pretty baseline. But the one big critique you read is that the author keeps mentioning about the clientele saying having improper language and not knowing how to speak in front of others, and just felt very uncomfortable listening to the conversations.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a great place. Hey, Thorn. I found us a tavern.
At the very end of the entry about the Drunken Dragon, you see a section that talks about how the author actually attempted to talk to management about certain patrons and was henceforth thrown out. And the manager told that if she ever came back, she would punch her teeth out. Sorry, the owner. The manager said that she would be the one punching the teeth out. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, yeah. So Fargwall was threatened to have his teeth punched out.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, I already like it by the name of the Drunken Dragon. I mean, it sounds like a rowdy, fun place to be.
Well, I don't care. As long as we can get drunk.
Better have
Probably
big
good.
boots.
Talk to some contacts as well.
Yeah, that probably does have a few contacts for you, Katrina.
Well,
Since it
mainly I
seems
just
to-
need to get these things out of my bag before they rot.
Like
I've
what
been
kind of
here in here
things?
for about a week. It's starting to smell.
Okay. So you guys bed down for the night and get another long night's rest. You guys soon wake up the next morning. Is there anything you guys would like to do before you head out? Let's try to read it one more time so we can get Metal's cam.
Just
Damn it.
no, just the normal stuff that I do right after waking up, doing the blessing of the
Hey.
forge.
Are you doing armor or weapon?
Armor.
Cool.
Before I said that, just assume that it's armor.
That's right. I
every
remember that.
morning
Yes.
until I say otherwise.
I remember that, but that was a month and a half ago because I
Yeah.
suck. Because I suck. Cool. Okay, so always armor. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I have a 19 armor class.
Gotcha. Okay, so you guys head out, and after a couple hours worth of travel, you eventually do reach, in the distance, you begin to see the shape of Newsham rising over the horizon as you kind of come over the last bit of foothills.
Looks like we're almost there.
That's good.
Nice to be somewhere civilized.
I think I should start working on something that I can just ride for all of this, rather than, walking all the time.
As long as it's not a horse.
No, I was thinking like a tiger.
God damn it.
Make a tiger. Sounds like fun.
Can I roll intelligence check to know what the hell a tiger is?
Akoki kind of looks at you as she's atop her panther. You can make a tiger? And just seems...
Yeah.
What is...
Not complicated.
How... I don't... And she just keeps walking.
She kind of holds up her gun and kind of like, do it. It'll take some time, but definitely do it.
Akoki just seems very confused and just kind of spurs her panther along.
She makes sense.
Eventually, you guys do reach the gates, and you have officially entered Newsham.
No guards, that's it? We just entered Newsham? Cool.
Yeah.
It's not a super fortified place, apparently.
Yeah. So as you guys enter, there are no guards here because there's a very rudimentary wall around the city, but it's almost like it's just the backs of some buildings and a fence line. That's basically it when it comes to the border defenses themselves. You do as you enter. So the first thing you see as you enter is this road, the coastal byway, seems to continue on and kind of bisect the town in half.
There's a thoroughfare.
Yes, basically. The other big thing you notice as well as you guys walk is the area that you are currently entering almost seems to be sort of a giant bazaar area. There's stands, tables. There's people kind of shouting, giving different prices. You kind of get hit with the hints of cooked meats, spices. It seems like the area you're in, at least, seems to be a very lively and bustling marketplace. And as you kind of
bizarre.
Basically, oh, I hate you. As you look ahead, you do notice that the coastal byway does cut through the town, and eventually, probably about a mile up, because you can see straight down the byway, there is a larger road that kind of cuts off and begins to go to the right, or heading out west.
Can I do an investigation to see what different types of foods are being sold in the bazaar?
Sure, absolutely.
Much better.
Okay. As you kind of walk around, you kind of close your eyes for a second, just kind of let your nose lead you. And as you smell the air, you catch whiffs of beef, pork, different types of poultry, even a couple smells that you're not really used to yet. They smell great.
Pastries, tarts, anything like that?
Yes. So you do notice that most of this area seems to be kind of sectioned off into, this is the weapon section, this is the armor section. Then as you kind of continue through, you do eventually find what seems to be sort of a perishable goods section. And you do happen to see a couple areas where there's carts being wheeled out that have these pies, cakes, small pastries just all over the place. And you do see a couple that, as you approach, you get hit by that kind of fruity smell, and they still have the steam wafting off them into the air, and they look delicious.
Yeah, I'm just looking for like some turnovers, sort of. Like fruit turnovers, like apple or berry of some variety.
Okay. Make another investigation check. Thorn, what are you looking for?
Dwarves.
Okay.
Another 16.
Thorn, as you walk around, you do notice that while most of the population in this city, from what you can see, is standard fare of humans, elves, you do see a bit of what seem to be half-elves, quite a number of half-orcs. There are actually a couple dwarves milling around here and there, not nearly a large number. Probably for every 20 people you see, you might see one.
Are they dressed as commoners, or are any of them armored?
Most of them are dressed as commoners. There's the occasional one. Basically, make another perception check.
Sure.
Okay. Most of them are dressed in what seems to be kind of sailor's garb. From what you can tell, this is a very heavily based merchant city. So some of them may live here, some of them may be coming in and out from ships. Carrick, looking around, you do eventually kind of make your way through different carts. You see kind of these delicious, like, blueberry pies, There's these amazing layered cakes, and eventually you do find one cart that does seem to have these very crispy, flaky looking apple and cheese tarts. Or sorry, turnovers.
I inquire how much they are.
As you approach, you see this kind of like hunched over old woman, kind of wispy, silverish gray hair kind of falls in front of her face. As you see, she's kind of reaching into something. As you approach, oh, sorry, kind of flips the hair out of her face. What can I get you?
I wanted to find out about these delicious-looking turnovers that you have here.
Oh,
So
glorious!
know
And she immediately ducks
what
under the
types you
cart.
have.
Ducks under the cart and pulls out this tray. And as she plops it down, you see in front of you this very yellowish brown, very baked over bread. Where you see inside there's some that have apple, strawberries, blueberries. One of them seems to actually have a large slice of an orange fruit. And as she kind of points them out, she looks at them. Oh, well, these are my fruit ones. I have cheese as well over here. I even been experimenting with some meat turnovers. Don't tell anyone. Shh.
So which one? You said peach?
Meat.
Meat
Yes.
turnovers. So like calzones.
Calzone. She starts writing. She started writing something down.
Yes, that's meat, cheese, and some like tomato sauce.
Oh,
You throw some herbs in there, and you make it almost similar. It's a little bit thicker crust, not as flaky, and people will just love it.
as you're talking, she is
It's something from my continent. They will love it.
She is feverishly writing down every ingredient, every step, and she looks at you. You know, I have been experimenting with a recipe where you take bits of poultry, this green vegetable cheese, and you put it in a completely sealed turnover.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
It's very close.
I like it.
It'll go over quite well. But how much are the different types of turnovers? And do you have any berries like blackberries, raspberries, anything like that?
Of course. And she kind of dives under the cart again, pulls out. She pulls out one extra turnover that does actually have what seems to be a mix of blackberry, raspberry, and blueberry inside of it. And she kind of hands it out to you. Please, for the recipe, an even trade.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'd like to pick up a few more because I have a few traveling companions. They may or may not. If they don't want them, then I will gladly eat them later. How much per turnover?
Well, and she kind of points to each one. These ones here are about 1 silver piece. This one, this. And she picks up the one that has that giant orange slice in it. This one came all the way from the continent of Varn. 2 silver.
I will take. I'll take one of the apple ones and one of the other ones that's not the orange one.
Okay.
So 2 silver, I guess.
Yes. You hand over 2 silver, and she kind of snatches out of your hand. Thank you. And you see her as she pockets it. She picks up her cart and begins walking. Fresh pastries! Pastries! And kind of keeps walking off into the crowd.
And I offer, I guess, if they want any. If they don't, then I will gladly sit there and eat it myself. Would
I
y'all
didn't
like?
miss the noise of civilization.
I'll take some.
I have
That's for the moment.
I have 3, so I'll go ahead and was it 6 of us, so I'll break one in half and give him half of it.
Okay.
And I'll eat the other half.
I'll, Are any of the dwarves drunk?
All dwarves are drunk.
Yes. You happen to see one kind of, not stumbling, but he's a little bit off balance as he's kind of making his way through the thoroughfare.
I'll approach.
Dale, well met, friend.
As you kind of look up, you see this dwarf has he has a single his brown beard kind of comes down into a single braid that goes to about his stomach, balding on top with long brown hair that goes down his back. Oh, hello! I apologize now for butchering your native tongue.
That is perfectly fine. Does he dress as a sailor?
Yes.
You, merchants from Bogram?
Oh, I indeed.
What's the word?
What about what? What do you want to know?
From Bogram? How goes the fight?
Ever going. You know how it is.
Aye. No advancement then?
Well, I know we've had some conflict with some of the northern tribes. Pushed them back a little bit. I went to Australian there. Apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, you totally did.
It's hard!
Australian dwarves.
You know what? I'm just going to go back
Will
to...
never bother us. It was more the orc army I was worried about.
Yeah, not sure why, but they do the hit and runs, but been pushing them back. Still Australian. Still Australian. You know what? Let's go to fucking Russian dwarves again. Yes, we push them back. It works.
Thorin's just that weird kid that has the funny accent.
Apparently
Everyone else is
so.
Russian.
Yep. Oh. Where's the best place to drink in this town?
He immediately, as you say that, just goes and just downs the rest of his tankard. And as he does, he kind of falls back on his butt again, taking a seat. You want to go here? And he shows you the tankard, and on it there seems to be a symbol that has what looks to be a bunch of tiny empty tankards with a dragon curled around it asleep.
Ah,
Nice.
told you. Drunken dragon.
Yeah, I don't have any booze on me right now, so that's fine. Alright then. Apparently that's what was in my traveling companion's book, so I guess that's where we'll be going anyway.
What about a bar and a book?
Aye, he's got this book that we picked up in Doncaster. Apparently this guy travelled around reviewing taverns.
Duncast. Did you lose a bet?
Meh. No idea.
Yeah.
I was there to get away from civilization. Don't know why they were there.
Smells like proper shit.
Yeah, it smells like it too. Well, friend, I'll let you go into your stupor. And,
Course.
find my way to some booze.
Well met, brother. And he kind of slams his arm out in a high five handshake.
Yeah, the warrior handshake on the wrist. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm loving the dwarf bouncing back and forth between Russian and...
I
It's
tried.
great. I love it. I
I've
love
legitimately
it.
tried to do Scottish. I just can't do it. I'm so bad at
I
it.
love it so much. I love it so much.
He's drunk. Okay, that's why. Assholes.
Yeah, that's why.
Because dwarves turned Australian and Russian.
Yeah. They do in Drusatta, bitches.
Sure.
Okay. So, yeah. What else would you guys like to do?
Well, I think I just see if I can find my contacts in this city. I need to offload this stuff and get the bounty for it as soon as possible.
Aye, we'll be at the tavern.
I'm gonna look for a general store.
I don't think this city's large enough for us to really do a lot of research into the Undying Ones.
Probably
Is it
not.
Coke getting any weird looks?
So, as you guys have entered the town, you do notice that Akoki does seem a little bit more on edge, mostly because, from what you gathered with the conversation, she's not entirely sure what reception she'll be getting. There are the occasional people who kind of look at her kind of side-eye, but they just continue on with their day. From what you gather, Roven are not really common sight in the cities, but they have. I mean, they've traded back and forth, so not completely foreign.
We may well get you some new clothes.
I offer her and the panther both part of a pastry. Just not caring if anyone's looking at me or not. Just, I know I'm an elf. I'm not normal around here. Don't even care. Just doing my own thing.
Okay. As you hand her the pastry, she kind of looks at it. What is this?
Just take a bite.
Probably
as I'm eating it.
Rations we've been eating the last few days.
She kind of looks
You'll
at
enjoy it.
very
It's
hesitant.
the blackberry one. Just I'm not telling her it's the blackberry one, but it's the blackberry one. Just you'll enjoy it.
You see her very hesitantly just kind of take a small bite. And just takes a massive bite afterwards. Her panther just ate it and just lapped it up and ate it in one bite. But she definitely seems to be and within a couple of seconds she's just licking her fingers. It's really good. What was that?
That was a turnover.
Oh.
It's a...
I require turnovers! And she just starts walking further into the crowd.
Follow that old woman with the cart. She's got them all.
Okay. Old woman! Woman! And you see her kind of calling out, and the woman turns and sees the panther, ah! And just kind of starts scampering away as Akoki is chasing her down the woman! Turnovers!
Someone should keep her out of trouble.
All right, and I guess not looking for a general store now. I'm now following Akoki to keep her from killing the lady. If I can, catch up and try to hail her and tell her it's okay.
Well, yeah, it won't take it. It's not going to be that hard. The woman is very old, and Akoki's basically just briskly walking, just trying to catch up with her. Eventually, as she's walking, you see the old woman tries to duck around a corner, and as Akoki is about to turn the corner, you do see two guards step out from the alleyway and kind of point their spears at her. Hey! What's your business? And she kind of just stops. I want to turn over. Why? I want to turn... Ma'am! Ma'am! And you see her kind of just yelling out into the alleyway.
I'll come up behind her, and I guess I'd explain to the guards that we were just trying to help the lady who I previously bought pastries from, looking to buy more pastries. My friend here has not had a turnover. Once she tried and experienced one, she wanted to purchase more. The lady saw her traveling companion and freaked out a little bit and made her proceed to run off.
The guard kind of looks to you and looks to Akoki and the panther. Seems you don't have any manners, miss. And do you have a reason for bringing that panther inside the city? As the panther kind of cocks its head, looks at him, and looks back to Akoki. Both of them still kind of holding their spears. Not really at her, just kind of at the ready. I suppose you speak for this one?
Is that for me to
Yes.
Akoki or Akoki to the panther?
Yeah, sorry. So he looks to you, and he says, "Do you speak for this one? We haven't had many Roven come through here in quite a while."
Do I look any different from her? Though
So-
I may not be Roven, is there a problem with her being Roven? The panther has caused no trouble yet.
Yet.
Yet
That's why I
being
said
the
yet.
key word. They see it. You see one of them kind of turns around and looks back at the woman. "Ma'am, are you hurt?" And she looks back. "No, just the panther." And the panther at this point is just kind of sitting there and actually still has a bit of blackberry around its lips.
I
How
want
far
to
are they
reach
away
out.
from us right now?
What is that?
How far are they away from us right now?
40 feet. They didn't get
I
very
want
far.
to.
Thor's walking up at a normal pace. He wasn't.
I want to
chasing.
kind of put my hand out to for the panther to rub up against me. Just kind of give the panther a look. I guess I need an animal handle.
Yeah, roll an
I wanna
animal
make
handling
it-
check.
I want to make it appear that the panther is docile. Come on. Oh.
As you put your hand "Oh, yeah, he's fine."
Not
And-
reaching for it, just putting my hand out. Just
Your
in
hand
the
still
general.
smells like
Yeah.
pastry.
You put your hand out as the panther kind of looks at you and just starts kind of not biting, but like licking around your hand as you do have a little bit of residue from the pastry still on it.
I'll pull out another half pastry and hand it to the panther.
As you do, yeah. As you hand out the other half, it kind of puts it in his mouth, drops it, takes a couple steps back, and like pounces on the pastry, and then eats the rest of the pastry.
What seems to be the boiler here?
The guard looks to you, just a little curious about this panther here. Wanted to make sure you're not causing any trouble. Seems everything's fine here. I apologize for the disturbance.
I can see why the panther would cause a little bit of havoc in the city, but he's fine.
I'm guessing you're all new in town?
I just rolled in from Doncaster.
Doncaster.
Mm-hmm.
Passing through.
I see. We sent some men a couple days back in response to some knoll attack.
They won't be having any trouble with gnolls anymore.
That's good. A lot of people say we should send more men up there, but it's a shit station. So I figured we might as well keep them here and protect the city.
Is the ship station literal or figurative?
It's actually a bit of both, honestly.
That's fair.
They're a little safer now. And
I
with the
think
Roven patrol in the forests, they should remain so.
It also depends on the tide.
Yes. Yes, it does. Well, and you see him and his associate kind of stand back. Please, be on your way. Apologies for holding you up. And you see them kind of turn to the one behind you. Ma'am, for the last time, the wardens are not bodyguards. Don't call us because you feel uncomfortable. And you see her kind of like, no, it's the panther. Just stop. Just, God. And
I want to speak to the lady. Madam, I do apologize for the fright that we gave you, but my friend here, she just wanted to purchase more of your delicious pastries. She wanted to get a few turnovers herself.
She wanted to give you money.
As you kind of pipe that up, Faye, when she kind of looks around, the panther she still looks a little afraid, as the panther by now is just kind of literally licking up all the blackberries that fell out on the ground, looking as unintimidating as possible. Well, I suppose you're right. Miss, did you want more? And as Akoki pushes you out of the way, yes, please, and just starts handing over like a pile of silver, and just picks up like a bunch of them. She picks up like an apple. There's a lemon one in there, an orange one. Thank you.
I'm assuming she's gonna get one of the meat and cheese ones for the panther.
Oh yeah, she gets 2 meat and cheese ones, one for herself and one for the panther. As she turns, holding the pastries in her hand, she kind of takes a big bite of one, and with a full mouth, where are we going?
To find the tavern.
Do they have pastries?
No, but they've got booze.
Let's go. And she starts walking out.
As they start walking away, I turn to the lady and I just give her a slight bow and says, I apologize for the trouble. And just, follow behind them. Keeping an eye out for a general store.
Okay. So, are you guys asking around to find the tavern?
Hey, where's the drunken dragon? I'll just shout at the random corner.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Sure.
Hey, dipshit.
Hey, asshole.
Okay. As you guys you exit the alleyway, before you guys can even think about like, oh, where is it? Thorin yells out, "Where's the drunken dragon?" And kind of everyone around you kind of like just stops and looks, and from like a block down, you hear another voice call out, the same dwarf you spoke to before. It's about a block down that way.
Oh, wait, I can't even see where you're pointing, man.
Yeah, it's true. You eventually hear just like the crash of boxes, just things breaking as you see this dwarf kind of step out of an alleyway with a box kind of on its foot. Like, all right. So, you're on the byway. You're going to go that way. Better block. Keep heading on till you get to the docks.
So it's
I'm
past
having
the
issues
block.
understanding his accent.
It's all right. I speak Bulgarese. He said, "Head this way."
The worst part is, in my head, I'm like, okay, I think this is kind of Scottish. Australian. Just straight Australian. Everyone in Arcalia is Australian. Arcalia is just Australia. I want you guys to know that.
So everything's trying to kill you.
Yes.
To the docks then.
Okay. Actually,
Onwards.
what I
Just
can,
onwards.
what I actually can do now is bring you guys to.
City map.
Server map generator.
Yep. Okay.
It's a lot of craftsmen.
Yes. So you guys came in around here, and what he's basically told you is to go this way and then one more block.
Sure.
I just realized that
Okay,
you guys
so-
can't see my
so-
mouse. So.
Should we come
No.
down this pathway here? I'm assuming.
Okay, so you guys currently are
Yes.
here. He told you to
Right.
come down this
Okay.
way and then one block this way.
I
Gotcha.
will follow his direction.
Okay.
Can I?
Because a drunken dwarf always knows the way to a tavern.
Oh. Well, I'm just following behind them. Obviously, not seeing a general store anywhere.
You
Alright.
passed by
That
15
big one
general
right
Yeah.
there is definitely
Yeah.
a general store.
I'm passing between merchants and craftsmen and don't see a store anywhere.
Nope.
Hey, how can I buy something?
They're just
No
probably
stores
sitting there.
around here.
Does anyone see like a store that just sells general? I need general goods, and Thorn's just like tavern.
Yep.
Tavern.
So, as you guys walk, you do eventually exit this sort of large bazaar, and you enter the area where these two roads do meet. And from there, you do see a lot of larger buildings. Kind of, most of the buildings are about 1, maybe 2 stories, and only in this one very small area. So on the map here, where it says the merchant area, those are larger 3-story buildings that seem to be possibly the governmental centers, or there's a lot of official-looking people, a lot of wardens in this sector. As you continue, the quality of the buildings does eventually go down a little bit, whereas in the middle of the city and even all along the byway, most of them are made of primarily stone with a little bit of wood accents here and there. As you eventually get to the docks, most buildings are primarily wood with just stone pillars or foundations, and most of the wood on the docks seem to be repurposed driftwood, not great
Weathered.
quality. Yeah, very, very, very weathered. But eventually, as you guys walk, you do reach a small 2-story building where the bottom layer of it seems to have kind of a stone facade around it, but there are wooden pillars and a wooden balcony along the second floor. And as you guys look up, you do see a sign that matches the same symbol as the symbol on the dwarf's mug, where it has the different empty tankards with a dragon curled up sleeping on top of them.
Does it appear rowdy?
Make a perception check.
What time of day is it? Well, it doesn't matter. It's Fox area.
Nope.
By now, you guys would have woken up probably around 7, took a couple hours. It's about noon at this point. So as you guys woke up, you can't quite tell the noise from the tavern itself. The whole area is just bustling with activity. There's people coming back and forth. There's ships coming in, ships coming out. You do see some people discussing different papers. Different dock masters come out. You do see one human figure kind of exit a building as he's reading off a paper. New tariffs in place. Make sure your cargo follows all the rules and regulation of the NATC. Please check with your dock master to make sure you are following all regulations. And he quickly turns around and heads back into the building again.
The fuck's this asshole?
Would that be the National Arcadian Trading Company?
Very close. North Arcalian Trading Company. So, if you guys would like, you may enter the building.
Aye. Is it a swing door? Saloon doors?
So, as you guys walk up, there is in fact, it's not saloon doors like the half doors. They are full doors.
Okay.
But from what you can tell, they are still the saloon swinging back and forth. As you guys begin to walk up, kind of like the sidewalk, like think of like an old West tavern. There's that little sidewalk area. As you walk, very
around deck.
yeah, very
Porch
quickly
area.
you hear the stomping of feet as suddenly someone is launched out the front door, through the doors, and just and tumbles across the ground. As you see this small halfling man with just kind of frayed and crazy red hair kind of get up. You don't even know. You're dumb. And he kind of just saunters off, weaving back and forth as he makes his way back to the docks. As you look back at the doors, you see the doors kind of get pushed open as this large, red-haired half-orc steps out. If I see you again, I'm gonna kick your ass. Now get the fuck out of here.
Stairs and barge past them.
He kind of steps out like, oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to block the door. Please, come in, come in.
Hey, right.
Works so nice.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Is this a panther friendly store?
I don't really know what that means.
I mean, we have a panther. Is the panther allowed inside?
You a panther? He kind of just... Ha! Holy shit, you have a panther. Yeah, bring him on in.
All right, that's what I thought.
As you guys walk in.
Brilliant half orcs.
They're my little babies. I love my half-orc babies. So, as you guys enter, you see him turning back. Pottery! Got a panther coming in! Be cool! And you see this, you see a human woman kind of pop up behind the desk, brown skin, very dark hair, kind of very curly and frizzy, almost like a little mini afro. Kind of small with this like very dirty smock on. She pops her head up. Oh, what? Just don't worry. And you see him kind of open the door as this panther just kind of walks in. As most of the patrons kind of look around and just immediately go back to their tables again. Oh, yeah, come on in. I guess the panther's probably gonna have to go probably towards the back. It's a little more open air there.
I guess we find a table in that general area.
I plonk myself at the bar.
Okay. So, Akoki will take, she takes her panther.
And put my dragon's head on top of it.
You're still wearing the dragon's head. I keep forgetting this.
Yeah.
You're sitting there talking to those guards earlier with a dragon over
Yep.
your head.
I
What's
was.
going on?
I always forget that fucking thing is there. God
Sorry,
damn it.
I am carrying a dragon's head. I will reiterate this at the start of every session.
The
Okay.
dragon head was at eye level with these guards.
Yes, it was.
What's going on? Well,
Okay. So, as you guys walk in, Akoki and her panther kind of go off on their own towards the back of the bar. Thorin makes his way to the bar and slams down the head. As you do, you see the woman who called out before, kind of scrubbing the bar, turns, sees the head, turns back, and just double takes, runs over, grabs the dragon head by like the cheeks, spins it. Where'd you get this? He's beautiful.
Well, obviously I chopped it off a dragon.
I assume that, but what? Oh. She kind of like starts like petting the head a little bit. How
this would
much?
be the perfect place for it. Yeah.
What are you offering?
Well, kind of looks it over a little bit. I can give you two options. I could give you, let's say, about 200 gold, or free room for a week, and how about on top of that, free drinks for 2 nights. Either or.
What's the best booze you've got?
Ooh, well, let me double check. And she quickly ducks behind the counter.
And by best, I mean strongest.
I know what you meant! And she kind of calls out from behind the bar. As I
I'm so
consult.
glad I'm not there right now.
As I
I'd be trying to haggle.
As I consult my D100 table. If I can find the right one. There we go. So, she pulls out 2 different bottles. Which, if I can find the percentile, there we go. Okay. The first bottle she pulls out, it actually is a red ale, which she turns to you. This, oddly enough, one of our specialties. This is the Red Spine Scale Ale. It's pretty strong, has a bit of a burn to it if you're prepared for it. And the second one she pulls out, which is
Cake.
okay. She pulls out something that almost seems to be. It looks like water, like it's clear. This is Mage Moss water. Seems like water, but it has a bit of a kick to it. Trust me.
Give me a bottle of each of them just now. Gotta have a sample.
All right. The Mage Moss is a gold, and the Red Spine is actually 5 gold for a bottle.
There you are.
Okay.
I guess it's a good thing it was. I guess it's a good thing he was offered 200 gold for the dragon head.
Yeah.
Which, knowing Thorn, he's probably going to stick a bunch of alcohol, which is not nearly worth the amount the dragon's head is.
Well, that all depends on the samples.
So, the Mage Moss bottle is more or less like a normal 12-ounce beer bottle. The Red Spine Scale Ale actually comes in more of like a wine bottle-ish bottle. Okay. Are you trying both of them?
Yes, but not double fisting.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
Which one
sampling.
are you going to try first?
The clear one, I guess.
Okay. Roll a Constitution save.
Sure.
Okay. As you take a sip of it, it's pretty good. There's that slight alcoholic burn, but nothing you're not already used to.
It's alright. Much better than that fucking piss ass elven wine. I'll take us figure out the other one.
Okay. Make another Constitution save. Okay. This one, you take a sip. It's very bitter at first, and it has almost like a hot chili aftertaste. It's pretty strong, and you feel like you feel how strong it is, but it doesn't actually affect you just yet. You feel like if you keep drinking this would probably have a pretty good effect on you.
This is pretty good. You say this is a local speciality.
Oh yeah, we actually fermented in red dragon scales.
Where do you get these red dragon scales?
She kind of looks. She puts her elbow on the bar and kind of winks at you. I have my ways.
Sure you do. Well, you want this guy. Obviously, you want him stuffed and mounted somewhere. Sure you'll find a spot for him. Well, I've no interest in paying for room and board for this lot, so give me the gold. I'll pay for my own booze.
Very well. And she quickly just kind of grabs around the fins on the back of the jawbone and just kind of pulls it and it slumps on the ground. She grabs onto the bar and pulls out a little sack. There you go.
Thank you. You might want to get stuffed fairly soon. I've been carrying it around for a few days.
I suppose I can do that. Fen! What? Can you take this, please, and get it stuffed? You see they have... Oh, my God. Sorry. Ow. That actually
You've
hurt.
been drinking some of that fucking booze?
I did, yeah. I actually have the scale ale. So the half-orc comes back to the bar, grabs the dragon head, and then makes his way out the door. As the woman gives you the gold, she kind of extends her hand. Name's Pottery. Pottery Weatherlight.
Thorn. Thorn Hammerfist.
Pleasure to meet you, Thorn. She kind of motions to the other ones. Are they with you as well?
They are.
I'm not there to clarify.
Traveling companions.
Okay.
Carrick's not there either, right? Who is there?
No, I thought
Well,
Carrick...
we're not right there at the bar. We went to
Yeah.
the corner where he was suggested the panther goes.
They're
We had more room.
Yeah.
Is
Katrina's
went
also
to a
not there,
table.
period.
Katrina not even inside?
No, she went looking for contact.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I just
Cool.
didn't interrupt. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So in that case, let's we'll jump back to you then, Katrina, as you guys are kind of settling up around the bar.
She pulls out her bingo book and is going to look for the contact that she has available in the city.
Okay. You've been to Newsham a few times, so you're somewhat familiar with the area. From what you know and from what you remember, the area you came through first is known as the Gallery, which is where the bazaar was. And you know that the Light Watch is the dock district, the Crossings is the part in the middle where the two byways intersect, and then there's an area known as Belford, which is where like the slum-ish area is. From what you remember, within the Crossings, the center of town, there is a building called the Hunters Guild, which acts as a sort of front for the Bloodspears. The Bloodspears are not an illegal organization, but they'd rather kind of keep their operations a little bit more secret. So you know that going to the Hunters Guild would lead you to the Bloodspears.
Yeah. I'll start making my way there then.
Okay. As you make your way to the Crossings, you do eventually see a building that is... It kind of stands out from the rest of them, where most of these buildings are fine stone with like those wooden, very finely crafted wooden accents. This kind of resembles almost like sort of like a Viking longhouse. Like it's made completely out of wood with a very angular ceiling. And as you approach, the doors to it are open, and inside you see there is a kind of a reception area with a very young woman sitting at the desk.
I will walk up to the desk. Is there a step stool?
There is not.
Oh, okay. Then I will put my hand up on the desk and be like, hello?
She kind of leans over. Oh, hi. I'm so sorry. And she kind of gets out of her seat and walks around the desk so she can see you face to face. What can I help you with?
I'm used to that. I'm looking for. Do I have a contact name?
Yes. From what you know, the contact in this city is a woman named Yiri. Shall I write that down?
Can you spell that?
Yes. Actually, give her on it. So it's Yiri Weldon.
Looking for a Yuri Weldon.
Oh. And she kind of like, you see her nod understandingly. Of course, please. And she motions to in the entryway. There's two doors. One that kind of goes off to the left of the desk, and one that goes to the right. She motions you to the one to the right.
There. I will walk on it.
Okay.
Not even knock.
As you open the door, it leads into another hallway, which there are a couple doors on each side. But you've been here once before, and you know that Yuri's desk, her office is at the very end of this hallway.
Yeah, I'll just keep on walking in.
Okay. Just not even knock.
Seeing if there's anyone I recognize.
Okay. There's a couple people kind of milling around, moving between rooms, kind of talking to each other. No one you really recognize. You've only been here a few times. Make a perception check. Okay. As you're walking through, like I said, most people are kind of walking back and forth. No one really seems to pay you much mind. As you do pass by a larger entryway, kind of off to your left before you get to the office, there seems to be a man sitting there, kind of like he's waiting to speak to someone, but his eyes kind of watch you as you walk by. And as you look, he is it's a half-elf man, very dark-skinned, black hair pulled back into a braid that has kind of shaved sides, kind of like an undercut, with these kind of bright green eyes. He doesn't say anything, doesn't look aggressive. He's just kind of watching you as you walk past him and then into Yuri's office.
Okay. As he's watching me, I kind of stop at the doorway, like with my head just kind of, like as I pass it, like just the head sticking out still. And just stick out my tongue and keep walking.
He kind of smirks back at you as the last thing you see as you enter the office. As you enter, in front of you there are a bunch of different bookcases aligned with different, what you assume to be different contracts being taken out, and seated behind the desk is a Arnost woman, so an elf, but not a full-blooded elf like you've seen Carrick and Faywin. Very long black hair with a couple white strands here and there, very deep brown eyes, and what you notice is where most people who have been working in this building seem to be wearing just very simple robes or commoner's clothes, she is actually still sitting in her piecemeal armor that has different hides and chitin and different air bones of different animals that she's probably hunted.
Sure.
And she kind of looks up. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. My name is Katrina. I'm a part of the... Never mind, I don't really want to go into all the details. Anyways, I have a couple contracts that I came across while I was out hunting. I was looking to turn them in before they rot to the point where you can't recognize what they are.
She immediately gets up from her seat, kind of scrolls through a couple books, grabs one of the books off the shelves, and you hear her whispering herself, Katrina. Okay. Yes, I see you had a bounty here. You took about, Knowles. Did you manage to fulfill that one?
Yes and no. I mean, I have a knoll ear from the leader, but I didn't really get to kill many of them. They ran away. It was
Very well.
disappointing. But I mean, at least killed the leader. I guess that's something.
Okay. Just present your proof and you'll be paid.
She'll pull the ear out of the bag of holding. Stolen the cloth. it's about a week old at this point.
As you plop it down, there's a very audible like squish as it kind of like splats onto the table. And you see it not even missing a beat. Okay, just kind of picks it up off the table, moves it into something behind her. Okay. She starts writing it down. Anything else?
Oh, yes. I got a. You guys were dealing with a fire witch problem as well.
Oh.
It was in my bingo book. I didn't know if anyone had dealt with it yet.
Let me check. And she kind of gets up and looks at a couple of different papers on her desk. Well, it doesn't seem like we have anything substantial on this. We kind of just assumed it was an old wives' tale, but I'm assuming we can probably get you some payment for something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't really much of a problem. But she's dead now, and as well as I also have a white dragon scale as well. Just basic stuff.
Very well. All right, we can take all of them, and then I can give you your voucher, and you can exchange at the desk.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. And you see her kind of take all your different things. She starts cataloging them in the book, which she eventually rips out a piece of paper. Give this to the front desk, and they'll give you your payment on your way out.
Yeah. One more thing.
Yes.
Send this to Can you have this sent to Draven? And she pulls out the warband ammo, and let them know that they're looking for more people to work with.
Sure.
It's the warband ammo weapons crate that she broke the emblem off of.
Okay. And who's she sending it to again?
The leader of the Bloodsteers in Norwin.
Gotcha.
Draven.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Absolutely. We can get that to you right away. All right. If you'll excuse me, I do actually have another. Bastress, come on in. And as she kind of calls over your shoulder, you see the dark-skinned man enter the room. As he kind of like very still, kind of watching you with a narrowed gaze. And as you notice, now that he's stood up, you notice that on his hip is a very similar weapon to yours. Kind of like not the full thunder cannon, but more of like a arcane pepper box.
interesting.
Yeah.
She kind of looks at it. I mean, it's a little small.
That's all I need. Now, if you wouldn't mind, the adults need to talk now. So why don't you get along, little girl?
Oh, well, yeah, I'll get right out of your way. I understand the adults have to talk.
Yeah.
She'll kind of make her way out. Can I roll a perception check as I'm walking past him?
Sure. Okay. What are you looking for?
I want to see where his ammo pouch is.
Okay. As you look, you see the pepper box strapped to his hip. You see a satchel on his other side. You don't see anything that specifically looks like an ammo pack. It might be in his satchel.
Okay. Is there anything on his person, like on his belt or anything like that?
From what you can tell, no. He kind of seems to always kind of have his hand on his hip, near that pepper box. Doesn't seem to have anything really of note. Just a couple decorative things here and there. Seems like trophies from previous kills.
Okay. I want to I want to basically just, as I'm passing him, just kind of slip one copper into his holster.
Okay.
Or roll sleight of hand for it.
Yep, make a sleight of hand check. Okay, so as you go to slip, suddenly you feel as he grabs your hand. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
What, give you money? You're just so amazing.
He kind of kneels down, or kind of leans over, putting his hands on his knees in a very condescending fashion. Listen, what you're trying to do is pretty cute, but just get the fuck away from me.
I think you have an attitude problem, sir. You should get that checked out.
I feel like I'm fine. Thanks.
You don't look fine. Do you have a cold?
No. Pretty good. As Yuri kind of calls out, Bastus, just have a seat, please. Why do you always do this when you come in? And he kind of smirks at you. See you around, kid. And just has a seat in front of Yuri's desk.
Maybe next time I can take a look at that weapon. She starts to walk up.
Doubt it.
It's fine, mine's better. She just kind of cocks her gun and starts to walk out of the room as the barrel retracts back in.
Okay. So, are you heading back to the front desk?
Yeah, I'll head back to the front desk.
Okay. So, as you head back, the same girl is still sitting there. As she sees you come out, you see her quickly scamper out around from the desk, knowing that you really can't see over it. Did anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, just some payouts is all. I was wondering, have you seen Stundot or Behemoth nearby lately?
Give me a moment. She takes your voucher and goes back behind the desk. And you see her kind of rummaging through what seems to be the payout drawer, but she's also kind of scanning this book in front of her. Well, not recently. No, I apologize. I've recently just started here. I'm not really sure who's been coming in and out, but well, here's your payment. I could leave a message in case they return, or I can send someone to locate them for you.
No, it's no problem. I was just seeing if they had checked in them recently. I know they were around the area. I don't know if they're still here.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Oh, there is a note here. Snugglenot. He's actually back on Bullgrim right now. He left about a couple weeks back. I can.
I'm gonna send him back there.
I could send a note for you if that would help.
It's not a problem. It's not important. Trying to keep tabs on my trip. Make sure that my master's still alive, you know.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, I just let me know, and I'm here to help.
It's fine for now. I'll track him down eventually if I need to.
Okay.
I appreciate the help.
Thank you. I'm just so happy to help people. As you hear a voice called out from the hallway, Becky, I need some help. Oh, right away! And you see her kind of.
Knew it. Knew it.
You see her scurry off.
She sounded too much like Becky.
You see her scurry off down the hallway.
Did she leave anything on the desk?
What are you looking for?
Can you see over the desk?
Just a general surveillance of like what's. Yeah, I can't actually see over the desk.
Okay. Well, you can look around behind it if you want.
Sure. I'll pop up on the chair and see what's on the desk.
Okay. Roll a investigation check.
Okay. I don't find anything.
Yeah. You look around. At the second you look up, you look, ugh, paperwork. Ugh. And just kind of immediately jump back down.
Fair enough. I'll start to make my way back towards the. I had heard they're going to the Drunken Dragons. I'll start making my way there.
Okay. Cool.
Would I know where it is from my history in Newsham? Or
You know that it's in the Light Watch district, and you know where the district is. From there, just make an investigation check. It's going to be pretty easy because you have been here before. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. You very easily find it. You come up to the same building. This stone first level with a wooden second floor, with the doors that seem to kind of still be swinging with the ocean breeze, and you are at the Drunken Dragon.
okay. I'll start to make my way in.
Okay. All right. So about this time, you guys do meet up. So as you enter, Thorin, I believe you're still at the bar.
Yep, I'm drinking.
Okay. So Thorin's still at the bar. Carrick, are Carrick and Faywin both with the cookie at the table?
I was planning on it. I don't know if Faywin is as well.
Yes, yeah.
Cool. Okay. So, Katrina, as you enter, you do see that Thorin is at the bar drinking, while the rest of the group seem to be kind of at a table towards the back of the bar.
Okay. I'll make my way to the table.
Okay. So, what are you guys doing at the table?
I figured just getting a drink and just contemplating what we're doing now that we're in town.
I'll have like the classiest elvish wine that they have, I guess.
I'll have the cheapest beer.
Fair enough. You do have. There's a couple waiters. There's a couple waiters and waitresses milling about. So about 4 people working right now, along with Pyrie and Fen the bouncer. The waitress you have is actually a green-skinned tiefling woman who takes your order, comes back very quickly. Carrick, she gives you a beer that tastes all right. Seems to be doing the trick. Faywin,
I'm not looking to get drunk. So.
Yeah. She comes back with a smaller bottle of this, what looks to be kind of a chilled white wine. It's pretty good. I mean, it's nothing like what you get back home, but I mean, it's acceptable.
3 days? It's been 3 days and I've not heard a word about that crown. Oh my god, it's so peaceful. Thorin's a little drunk.
As you're doing it, Pyrie kind of looks at you. What are you talking about? Still cleaning the bar.
Oh, nothing, it's fine.
You have a crown. Are you a princess? Do you have a crown?
A princess, do I look like a framing princess?
I don't know why you'd have a crown.
I don't have a crown. We don't actually have a crown. We found it, lost it. Who cares?
So some princess has lost her crown then.
Apparently it was some queens or gods. Who knows?
You're a strange one, dwarf. You know that? Kind of keeps cleaning.
I'm a strange one.
Talking about
I'm
gods.
beginning to think you have a red dragon downstairs. Keeping it drunk to make this ale. Which is quite good, by the way.
Thank you. Well, we've only got one dragon here, and it's not downstairs. Hops! As she yells over her shoulder, as you see this very tiny kind of a greenish gold pseudo dragon pop up off the table where the drinks on the back and kind of curl up around her shoulder. Master Thorn, this is Hops. Hops, play nice. As it kind of like just.
Oh shit!
Can the panther
rolling
roll
for
perception?
That's the ugliest dragon I've ever seen.
Let me roll something. Let me roll for the panther first. The panther is too busy. The panther's actually snoozing a little bit on the table. But as you say that, you call this pseudo dragon ugly. You see it quickly just and just kind of nuzzle up around Pyrie's neck. Oh, it's come on. He's very sensitive. And you see her kind of pluck him off and put him. Oddly enough, behind the bar, there is a large metal tankard full of ale.
Oh,
It's okay.
You fucking didn't.
And she just
Asshole.
bloop, dunks, lets the dragon swim around in this giant tankard of ale.
I wish I was playing another character right now, but I don't have anything to check that dragon for. So, okay, carry on.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Okay. It's not.
Okay, cool.
I thought about it, but it's not.
Can I make a perception check?
Sure.
I want to see if I actually see the dragon swimming around in the. Do I see the
Yeah.
pseudo dragon?
Yeah, you
Is
see.
it the same tank? Is it the same cask that I got my beer from?
Yes.
I push the beer away from me and I raise my hand for the way. Can I get a different type of beer that the dragon hasn't been swimming in?
Oh, sure. One moment. She kind of picks up the cup and starts walking back. She gets about 5 steps before a pretty drunk human looks at her. I'll drink it, and just grabs it and just chugs the rest of the beer down.
I apologize for offending your little scaly friend.
It's all right. He's a little sensitive.
So, anything been going on in town?
Well, nothing too crazy. Just getting ready for the festival.
Festival?
Yeah,
Festival.
the festival of 1,000 lights.
Festival of 1,000 lights.
Yeah, coming up pretty soon.
Thorin has no idea what that is, right? That's
Uh,
not celebrated in Bulgrim.
it's not celebrating Bulgrim. You could make it. Okay.
That's fine. He would not know.
Yeah. Carrick, you're not sure what that means.
And what in the nine hells is that?
Well, oh, that's right. You're probably not from around here. So,
What gave it away?
funny. Well, I'm assuming. How much do you know about our gods?
Very little. Just what I've picked up along the way.
Fair enough. Basically, without getting too much into religious history, many centuries ago, there was a great war where many people died. And because of the influence of these evil forces, their spirits were cursed to walk the world without rest. So, a ritual was made way to the south in Westerdale, and they cleansed the area and let the spirits have their eternal rest. So, every year we honor that ritual and help honor anyone who's died this year to find their rest. Some people say it keeps ghosts away from towns, but that's just ghost stories.
Most fables have roots in truth. But, seems like an honorable ritual.
Yeah, you see her kind of look to the back table. I feel like your friend there would probably, judging by his outfit, he probably knows more about it than I do. And you see her pointing to Ivan.
Probably. He likes a drink as well, though. I think we'll get a bottle of this
He
for
does
him.
seem a little bit spaced out at the moment.
Yes, he's not said much in 3 days.
Yeah. Also, for those at the table, you do notice that Ivan's kind of not much paying attention. He has his bits of his brewery kit out, kind of just finishing up a couple last things, and then suddenly you see his eyes kind of perk up as he sits
Ivan,
silent.
watch what you're doing there. They'll charge you corkage on it.
As his eyes kind of go wide for a second, and you see him just completely still for about 30 seconds before he immediately stands up. This is awkward. I have to go. I don't really know how else to explain it, but I just received message from home. Seems they need me for something.
How convenient.
Insight.
Sure. Okay. From what you can tell, he seems like he's being truthful. Also, Carrick, you would probably recognize what happened. You assume there was some sort of message or sending spell that someone sent a message to him. As he stands, I really hate to do this now that we've finally gotten back to civilization, but the festival is coming up, and I think they need my help back at home. Things are not going well there. But before I go, here. And he hands you a note. And
Bow. You know?
yeah. And bows to you all and begins to head out the door.
I go ahead and look at the note.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Take this for the road. I buy another bottle of red scale ale and hand it to him.
Okay. As you do, he hands him, he grabs it and kind of looks at it. Kind of pats on the shoulder. Thank you, Thor.
Can't have you traveling without some booze.
We'll see each other again. I promise.
Sure we will. Please don't leave me with these elves.
I am sorry about that. And you see him kind of smirk and he exits the tavern.
Another bottle.
Alright, Pyrie keeps him coming. She is clearly having a lot of fun with you as a patron. The other good thing is, as every so often as you are drinking, occasionally she will take a break from her bartending and take a shot with you, and then go back to work again.
So, no monsters attacking the city, or any outlying farms or anything?
Monsters, not really that I'd know of, but I mean, you could probably check the Hunters Guild. They have a board outside that has a couple jobs they're asking about.
A board, you see?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll wait, have a look.
Of course. Yeah, it's actually, you see her kind of like lean over the bar and point towards the window. If you head back towards the crossings, it's the only wooden building there. It's hard to miss.
Even if you're drunk.
That's true. As she slams down another shot. I'm sure you'll find it. And she kind of gets back to work again.
I'm sure I will. If not, I'll just bully somebody into fucking showing me. This is not a bad place you've got here.
Oh, thank you. It's been in my family for a few years, actually.
Oi, you lot. What are we doing?
Well, I just turned in some contracts at the Hunters Guild.
Oh, shit. Sneak up on me like that.
I'm like 6 inches shorter than you.
I'm on a bar stool.
Not my fault.
Where did
Well.
you heard of this Hunters Guild thing?
Oh yeah, it's across town.
Apparently there's a board with things to kill on it. Sounds like a plan.
Things to kill. I mean, it is getting close to the Light Festival. We could just, hang out until then and have some fun at the festival.
I've no interest in having fun at a festival.
They might have booze.
I mean that I can carry booze. I want to kill something.
I mean, there's a lot of merchants that come in though. We can kill things in the meantime.
Aside
I'm
from
not
the,
talking about traveling hundreds of miles to kill something. That's on this board that's got to be close, right?
Maybe.
Aside from the object that I have vowed not to talk about around you, there does still continue to be the problem of the Undying Ones, which we still don't know much about, but my guess is that you could probably kill those, and honestly, it sounds like big trouble.
Very. You heard of these Undying Ones?
Well, from what I can tell, our biggest lead on the Undying Ones, or any knowledge of them, just left.
Ivan, come back! Need you.
Well, I do want to look at the note that he gave me.
Okay, so before I get to the note, so as you ask Pyrie, are you asking her loudly or quietly?
Loudly.
Okay.
She.
Yeah, so quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she
Bird can't be quiet right now.
she's in the middle of pouring a drink, and as you say it, she immediately whips around, dropping the drink, and kind of pulls you off your bar stool, or attempts to at least.
That's alcohol abuse.
And she kind of whips herself around the edge of the bar, so she's on the same side. Shh. How do you know that name?
I don't know that name. We've been hunting them. Trying to stop them from doing something or other. I don't know. I've been following around these goddamn elves, man.
You're hunting them.
Not an elf.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure.
Does he get advantage or disadvantage for being drunk?
You would get advantage because at this point, Pyrie's taken a bit of a liking to you.
Yeah, the 11's fine.
Okay. As you say that, she kind of looks at you.
I have no charisma.
Listen, we can talk about this later, just not right now. Not here.
Why? Who's he? Who's gonna stop me talking here?
No one's gonna stop. Just please, Thorin. Later.
Alright.
Thank you. And you see her kind of walk back around the table again, back behind the bar, and just goes back to making more drinks. So, Carrick, as you open the note, in Ivan's handwriting, you see a couple things written. Newsham, Undying Ones in the city, planning ritual, not sure purpose.
Okay. Newsham,
I've been yelling at her.
Undying Ones, planning ritual. What was the last of it?
Not sure why.
Hey, Thorin?
Mate,
I think we should heed her advice.
wait, what?
Exactly.
Bloody strange elves.
I need to delete my note here and stuff from my bag. How much did I get paid for that, mentioning that?
You would have gotten 100 gold altogether.
And I go ahead and slide the note over to Faywin so you can see it as well.
Do I see an entrance to the cellar?
Yes. Behind the bar seems to be an entrance. It's currently open. Clearly heading down to probably some sort of wine or ale storage.
Okay. It's behind the bar, right?
Yes.
I hop off my stool. Walk around the bar. Sort of tap on it to get Pyrie's attention. And walk towards the cellar.
You see her eyes kind of go wide for a second, like, what the fuck are you doing? As by this time, Fen has already come back, and she looks, Fen, take over, please. As she kind of heads down, as you hear Fen at the door, and he just walks behind the bar.
I want to do a perception check to see if anyone's watching Thorin,
Sure.
especially after he mentioned and her reaction. Nope.
Okay.
I'm still staring at that dragon in the beer.
Is it steps or a ladder? Going up the cellar?
It's both. It's a stepladder. What? No, like it's a ladder that can go up and down, but it's like an attic thing.
Yeah, I got you. That's what I was asking. Okay, I'm gonna roll
Assholes.
this. Okay, even at disadvantage, I still got 13. I stumble my way down the steps.
So, Carrick, looking around, you try to look, but you keep looking at that
Corner of
goddamn
the eye.
dragon, like, it's just like that, knowing as it's doing a little backpedal or backswing.
And in that, if it's all right, I want to go ahead and cast detect poison and disease, just because I want to make sure that it's not just
Sure.
totally contaminating it. That's just, if I can find, yeah.
As far as you can tell,
Poison's
there's nothing.
Okay.
Probably not the most sanitary, but no poison or disease.
I'll try to insight where Thorin's going, or why he's going down there.
Sure. Okay. So as far as you can tell, you heard him yell out something about Undying Ones, and the bartender immediately spoke to him in a couple hushed tones, walked behind the bar, which you then saw him get up and walk behind the bar and go disappear from sight as you see the bartender kind of rolling her eyes and also following him down.
I'll follow the bartender then.
Okay. So eventually, Thorin, you head down first, and this downstairs is in
There's
fact.
a dragon there.
Make a perception check.
Sure.
As you turn the corner, you are face to face with a massive black dragon head.
He growls back.
Hold on. Roll for this.
Does Thorin know
Roll to
it's
see if
not-
he attacks.
I pull my hammer.
Okay. Roll an attack.
That's normal.
Mending can't fix that.
That
Reckless,
is-
because
That is a hit.
forward.
Okay. So, as you turn the corner and you see this ferocious black dragon head, whack! And you just hear the ping as this mounted head kind of collapses off of its mounting and just as Pyrie whips up behind you. What the hell are you doing?
You didn't kill your fucking dragons down here.
Good job.
It's
Thorin, you
called
got one hit.
the Drunken Dragon. We have a lot of dragons. It's part of the name.
Have them in the bar.
Because I just had that. Oh my god! I just had it made.
You might gotta get fixed.
Thorin, you got it in one hit. Good job.
Aye.
Who is this now?
Kill. Oh, this is Faewin. He's an elf.
That's the only interesting thing.
That's how he's going to always.
Yep.
He's an elf. Amelia's definitely not there.
He's with me. It's fine.
Katrina is also
No.
kind of stealthed in behind.
Yeah,
both
you
of them,
roll a
watching
stealth
the door.
check, right? So you
Yeah,
did.
she waited for them to leave and then stealthed in just to the doorway to make sure no one's following them.
Okay.
As you can probably tell, I don't have a lot of patience.
Okay.
Nor do
No.
I have a lot of tact. So, I don't really care who hears me. They can come and try and kill me if they want. That's fine. But,
Is the little
You
one
know
with you too?
aye, she's with me.
It's fine, just watching the door.
Okay. The Undying Ones came into town, supposedly came into town.
They're
A
not
couple
very
weeks.
secretive, are they?
Well, those of us who have their ears to the ground know everything that comes through town.
It's hard to keep yourself hidden in a town like this.
Yes. Now, the problem is, they're not exactly walking around wearing Undying One uniforms. They could be anyone.
I mean, they don't have little badges. Oh, come on.
Is he always like this?
More so
He's
than
a
you think.
dwarf.
I know he's
So-
drunk right now, and doesn't change too much, actually.
So, all we know, we being the people who have eyes and ears out in the town, people have been going missing in Belford. And ever since this group, cult, whatever word you want to use, showed up, the disappearances...
Assholes.
Sure, assholes. Ever since these assholes have showed up, more and more people are disappearing. And of
Do you know what
course...
area they're in?
Yeah, it's in Belford, which is towards the southwest. And of course, being as it's the slums, no one seems to give a shit.
I give it a shit. I'll find them.
Okay, just please, for my sake, try to be quiet about it.
I'll make sure he gets some rest first.
I don't need rest. What are you talking about? I'm fine.
There's a dragon behind you.
Hold.
Yes! Yes! It's the same dragon head. You can hit it if you'd like.
I've already killed that one.
She looks back to you, Faye and Katrina. Please, just make sure you get
I'll
some rest.
keep it as quiet as possible.
All right,
Head
just
to the slums. I'll find out what they know, and I'll find these assholes. Which
Aren't you going to
now-
carry that head around too?
No, this is her head.
so, Kara, Katrina, what are you guys looking for? Oh, characters left. Oh, there he is. Sorry.
No, I was just standing up. I was just trying to look around the room. And,
Okay.
And I still just looking at the dragon and the
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
As far as you
I'll
guys,
refer to them as the assholes, and never mention those words again.
for some reason, I feel like Thorin's like winking with both eyes.
Yes, he is.
Them.
Very much. Them.
Thorin, I think there's a problem with that.
What?
You refer to a lot of groups of peoples as the assholes.
But only to her as this group of people as the assholes.
That's fair. What happens if we have to talk about the Roven?
You see Pyrie just
It's fine.
hand in palm as you guys are talking.
We won't be talking about the Roven with Pyrie. Pyrie doesn't care about the Roven.
I don't.
See? So only one group of assholes to talk about with Pyrie.
I could find a new group of assholes if we need to.
I don't know what we'll be talking about with
What?
Pyrie.
Listen! Why don't we just focus on one group of assholes at a time?
Right. Okay. So, hush hush, group of assholes in the slums. I'll find them.
Are you sure I shouldn't find them?
How many people have gone missing?
Well, obviously we don't know the exact number because they're missing. But somewhere between 30 and 40 people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Any idea where they're holed up? Is there
Not
a sewer system that runs under Belfort? Where are we?
Well, I mean, there's the sewers that run through the whole city, so there might be some there. I haven't really thought of looking.
Right. Thank you. I apologize for mentioning that. Assholes in your bar.
Thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some work to do. And you see her
Of course.
grab one of the kegs and heft it onto her shoulder and then start walking back up the steps. And very soon her head pops back in. Get the hell out of my cellar!
Aye, you're right. I'll walk up the stairs.
So as a Doncaster is in actually I can pop you guys back to the map to give you a better picture of it.
Basically, we're kind of halfway between.
Yeah. So
Doncaster and Belfast.
came from
Map on
Dun.
your world anvil doesn't have Newsham. It just goes straight
Yeah.
from Doncaster to Belcliff.
Yeah. So this is basically the zoomed in. The fuck? Like, okay, you zoom
Chilii
in.
uploaded the wrong image.
He's not metal level of lazy. He's
Because I figured the overall map is the major plot point places, or the major places of interest, and this is like the zoomed in. God.
forgive you.
I'm not Matt Mercer, okay? God.
We know
No,
that.
because he can do a
He can
Scottish accent.
Okay, okay. That felt
I love how all of us
Jay.
went there.
that felt personal, and that was very
Are you
hurtful.
feeling attacked right
I
now?
feel very attacked. Okay.
Is Thorin in the room with you?
I don't know how to fucking do like Scotland.
Chilii? Roll charisma save.
Fucking no. All right. God damn it. Now all doors talk like this. There. Problem solved.
God, darn.
Thorin is the weird one. He was dropped on head as child. Anyway, going back to Newsham. Boop. So, as you guys exit the cellar, Carrick, you do see them all kind of exiting out. So as you know, looking at this map, Belcliff, or sorry, not Belcliff, Belford is the area. I'm gonna circle it real quick. There. Belford is the small area here to the southwest.
Thorin walks back up from the cellar, looks over at the table with Carrick and Nikoki. Come on! We've got assholes to find.
Kokiki looks to Carrick. Which assholes?
It doesn't really matter at this point. We'll find out soon enough.
Everybody's an asshole.
Okay. And she kind of gets up and very awkwardly walks up to the waitress. Thank you for serving us. I appreciate it. Good day. And just kind of walks out with the panther.
She's a bit socially awkward.
I was being polite.
It's been a while since she's been in town. It's all right.
Do you not thank your... I thought you're supposed to thank people.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, we do.
yes. But if they're across the room, you don't have to walk all the way over there and say very loudly, thank you. You
Oh.
can just
You just
kind
leave
of
them
wave
alone.
and go.
Oh, you don't have to... Okay, so you don't have to walk up to him. And she turns.
No.
I apologize for approaching you. Thank you again for your service.
A good way of thanking someone, especially in a bar and you're across a crowded bar that's making a lot of noise, is to catch their eye and just give a nod.
Ah.
Akoki reminds me of one of my friends.
I'm nodding
so
at you!
much.
No, you don't have to tell them you're nodding. Just do it. It's implied.
Oh. I'm sorry for yelling about nodding.
All right, and just kind of gently pushing her out the door.
Just get out. You notice also, make a perception check, Carrick. Yeah, you notice her panther's also kind of like pushing her out the door. Okay.
Yeah,
When
we'll
the-
work
when
on
the-
that.
When the panther knows the social cues more than you do.
You guys haven't really had full conversations with her. You don't realize how awkward she is. She's been living in the woods for so
Yep.
long.
You know your way around the city, right?
Yeah.
Or the slums near the Hunters Guild.
Where was the Hunters Guild again?
The Hunters Guild is roughly here.
Okay.
It's right there.
Okay. I saw a ping and an X at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just
I
gonna
was
wait
like,
for it to happen again. Okay, we're good.
No, it's here. It's here.
I took a random guess
They're
and I was
blocked
off.
to the north
There.
of us. I mean, we can head
Right
there.
above you.
Quick. The board should be on the outside, so it shouldn't be
Sure.
very hard.
Let's make our way. Have a look at this board, see if there's anything. Takes our fancy. That was a legit hiccup, so I'm
How
playing the
serendipitous.
character.
I'd like to, as we're walking away, I'd like to kind of keep an eye out to see if anyone starts following us or leaves the bar after us or anything like that.
Sure. Just make another perception check.
I would love to roll
Please roll
like
high.
halfway decent tonight. No, that is literally the fourth 2 that I have rolled tonight when it comes to perception. If it wasn't for the +6,
Carrick is not over the dragon swimming in the beer.
I'm not looking for people following us, but I am looking for people wearing badges saying the Undying Ones.
Okay. So, Thorin, you look around. You, in fact, do not see anyone.
Putting on that?
I know, right?
You find one
The
person.
worst batch. 20. No.
Okay. Also, you do see. Well, actually, Katrina, you know this. So the Drunken Dragon is right here. This yellow X. So you know you could just come up this street over to here, and you could get to it pretty quickly. So,
Yeah.
as you guys start heading out, Katrina, you're also looking around for people following you.
Yeah.
Okay. Around this time, it's about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So it's getting a little bit more busy. This area, especially the docks, is always frequently busy, given the nature of ships coming in and out. You see more people kind of yelling out orders, unloading and loading ships, people checking registrations of the dockmaster. As you do get further away from the dock, the sound does eventually die down, and the amount of people also seems to kind of be decreasing. You don't notice anyone specifically following you. I mean, every so often you feel like there is someone following you, but then eventually they kind of break off and head in a different direction. It's kind of those things where, like, are you following me, or are we just kind of going to the same place? You get a couple of those. But not many, like, people who are actually seem to be following you.
Okay. Is the board for the job board on the outside of the guild hall?
Yes.
Or on the outside of the Hunter's Hall?
So when you entered the building, there's a set of stairs that leads up into these giant oak double doors, and from looking at the building, to the right of the building is where this giant board is set, and there's different notes kind of stapled or nailed up in different places.
Are there any pictures?
Yes, there are actually, in fact, a few pictures.
I would like to look at the pictures.
Okay.
for those that aren't literally inclined.
Because the words are a little blurry.
Okay. So where did I put that paper? So as you look at the board, there are a couple very basic job openings on this board. There's a couple, and what you notice is it's primarily for the Hunters Guild, but it's kind of grown to become this community job board. There's a couple boards of an old woman saying that her house is haunted and she needs adventurers to kill the ghost. There's a couple saying they need protection on shipments going from Newsham down to Belcliff or even out to Grimsby Keep. You do find a couple mentioning of just wolves outside the city walls. Also, along the top, most of the banners themselves, most of the notices are on the very poor quality frayed and burnt paper. Along the top row are very almost pristine looking wanted posters. And you see a couple, the ones you see, Thorn, the ones with pictures at least, there seems to be what looks to be a human, possibly half-elf figure with short, spiky red hair that kind of spikes straight up. And under it, it says, wanted, 3,000 gold alive, 10,000 gold dead.
Look at that. Get more money for him dead.
That means he's a little bit of a hassle.
The next one over, you see what looks to be a half-orc figure with what looks to be kind of like a headband wrapped around his head. Kind of this like really ugly sneer, one tusk bigger than the other one. Underneath of it said, wanted, 300 gold alive, 300 gold dead, last seen North Pine Forest. And the third and final one you see is a halfling woman with kind of short, curly brown hair, and an eye patch. And under hers it says wanted, 400 gold alive, 700 gold dead.
I find it weird that this Hunter's Guild doesn't want people alive.
I find it weird that this Hunter's Guild doesn't have beasts and not people.
Well, I mean, people might be the primary problem here.
True.
Let me
Generally,
see if there's.
hunters
I mean, these are also wanted posters. Let me see if there's anything for beasts. I'll start to look at the ones that aren't pictures.
Sure. Okay. Roll an investigation check with advantage because if you're looking, you kind of know what you're looking for.
Does she get advantage if I like lift her up to see the higher posts?
Sure. So as you're looking, you do see some pretty generic ads taken out for dire wolves, bears, other creatures that may just be kind of pushing into the city as the city expands out in the wilderness. One of them that that kind of catches your eye is a wanted poster saying, not wanted poster, is a job stating that recently it seems as though some sort of creature has been nestling not far to the west along the Pineway, which is the road that heads west towards Grimsby Keep. And it's been attacking caravans, and no one really knows what it is. It seems to be something that burrows underground and attacks last minute, and no one can really get a good, clear picture of what it is.
Fucking bullets.
Huh. How much does it pay?
That one would be about 500 gold.
Are we going for the most money, or are we going for the most interesting?
Interesting, always interesting.
Well, I will leave you guys.
They don't know what it is.
I trust your judgment in whatever decision you make. I think I'm going to look into the kidnappings a little bit. And
Yes, I'm heading there. I'm heading there now. I just wanted to see if there was anything interesting on this board.
Huh. Well, I'm just gonna do what I usually do. Katrina literally just takes all of the postings and puts them in her bingo book.
So basically, yeah. So you're you're wowing this and just getting every single quest before you leave the city.
All of
Ding, 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 ding.
always does.
Now I can do everything in the wilderness.
There's 13
So-
exclamation points here.
As we're on our way from the, after she takes all the posts, on our way from the board to the general, you said, whatever area.
Belford. Okay,
Yeah, Belford.
I'll write it
Can
in
we have Belcliff, Belford, you have,
You have
but
lots
can
of
I
bells.
do,
It's almost
can
like
I
there's
do
a
an
naming
investigation
convention.
check to see if I can find a general store?
Sure.
We're literally walking past Thornton. You definitely can't find one.
Okay. Yeah. So as you're walking through the town, you kind of make your way back through the crossings area, which you guys to your right is the area known as the gallery, where it has the different market stalls and different shops. And very soon, it's kind of asking around. There's a younger man who seems to be kind of closing up his shop for the day, or his cart. And as you ask him, he points. Yeah, so there's actually a general store not far down the road. Just look for the Elegant Traveler.
I see. Thank you.
Of course.
Head and
You can
I'll
look
head in
all
that
you want,
direction.
you'll never see it.
I ignore him and keep walking.
Okay. As you guys eventually hit this, you hit the main thoroughfare where the Pineway and the Coastal Byway meet. In this area, you see what looks to be that large 3-story building that seems to be sort of like a city center. And actually, across the street from that is a small stone building about 2 stories, but you can tell clearly the second story is the living quarters. But you see a sign of a very finely dressed person standing, looking very proud.
Well, I'm gonna head on in, and there's a few things there's a few things I want to try and pick up, but
Are there any beggars around this area?
Not so much beggars. There are plenty of what you can tell to be either drunk or passed out sailors.
No. I'm looking for beggars specifically.
Okay. Yeah, in this area, not so much.
Okay.
With my perception check, do I see a way to get to the second story?
Yeah. I mean, one of the big design aesthetics of this town so far is that most of the more important buildings will have a stone or a smooth stone-ish structure, and they have these wooden pillar accents. So you could climb one of these wooden pillars and then attempt to get to the second story.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to
Make a
get
stealth check.
stealth check. I don't care if it's stealthy right now.
Okay.
I'm not.
You look up and think,
You sing a song.
I'm gonna climb that. Dun 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 dun.
That is entirely what she probably would do in that situation.
Okay. Make an athletics check as you attempt to climb.
I'm gonna parkour this shit to get up. She's gonna be leaping between the pillars to get up instead of
Okay.
climbing up because climbing's not her forte.
Okay. So as
and she
you
you
take a
all the way.
you take a step back, get into a stance, and you sprint forward, singing to yourself this theme song you've come up with out of nowhere, as you jump and with your left foot push off one pillar and manage to kind of catch like a cat on the other pillar, push off, do it again, and eventually you are on the top floor. As you do, you kind of look to yourself, pretty good. As 3 wardens come around the corner. Hey! What are you doing up there?
I'm trying to get a view of the city.
Make a deception check.
I'm being honest.
Alright, make a persuasion check then.
Yeah, she's actually being honest.
They kind of look very confused and look to the person who seems to be the leader of this group. I mean, it is a pretty good view. Shut up! You know, there's other places to do that, miss. I'd like you to get down, please.
But I'm already up here.
I know. I would just like you to get down, please.
Give me 1 second. She's gonna stand up and walk over the roof and walk to the other side of the roof.
Where the hell is she? Go to the... Find her, please. As you're doing this, the guards are kind of yelling up. A small crowd is gathered as you hear, like, an old woman looks up. Oh, where is her mother? She must be so scared.
She's
It's all
a
right.
gnome.
A what?
A gnome.
No, I don't know her.
No, I know her. She's a gnome, a little folk. That's as tall as she's gonna get.
A little yolk? I don't want eggs.
This is the part where Carrot gives up on his question directly over.
Okay, so
I don't have. It's like I say, if I had a piece of paper, I would write it out. Like, she is a gnome. She is a little person. I walk in the store. I'm down with these people.
While I'm up there, I want to go ahead and look over the. I want to look over towards the beggars' quarters.
Okay.
Or towards that area, and I want to specifically see if I can see any large groups of people that have gathered that don't look like they're not just sleeping or like living. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, make a perception check. Okay. Looking out, there isn't much movement going on. You do see people kind of from your viewpoint up on top of this building, which every building in the slums is only one story, so you already have a better viewpoint. You can't see in some of the alleyways, but most of what you can see, there are people kind of leaning up against buildings, either sleeping or just kind of laying there. There's people kind of milling around. There's no groups of anyone really bigger than like maybe 3-4 people, and they just kind of seem to be kind of milling around different alleyways and different streets.
Does anyone look suspicious in their body language?
Roll an insight check. Not that you can really tell from this distance. Most of them just seem to kind of be engaged in conversation with each other.
Okay.
And as you do that,
Look back over.
okay, as you're looking, you hear like the sound of like scraping as you see a gauntlet hand kind of. Come on now, miss. Please come on down.
Oh, okay. I'm doing what Katrina would do. She's gonna get arrested for this, but it's what she would do. She is going to step
start.
on his head, put one foot on his head, put one foot on his hand, and stomp down on his hand and ride him down.
Okay. Make it a melee attack roll for the stomp. Let me see if he can try to attempt to hang on.
Am I proficient in this? Using my foot?
What's like a?
Are you proficient in
1d4?
improvised weapons?
Well, I'm not improvising.
What's a
it's
melee
unarmed.
attack?
It's
Yeah.
unarmed.
I guess just do a strength check then. Okay. All right. So it's gonna be just a regular check then. Okay. So as you stomp down on the hand, he kind of and you see he slides a bit, but he manages to kind of hold. What? What are you doing?
You told me to come down.
What?
I thought you were gonna take me down. You climbed all the way up here.
You climbed up here.
Yeah, and you told me to come down and came up here to get me down. So I just thought you were taking me down.
Why'd
I
you
love
step
how the
on my
conversation
hand?
She's on his head right
Because it was
now.
faster that way.
You see him kind of just fucking perplexed. Just what? Just get down! And he starts climbing himself back down this pillar.
Okay. She's gonna attempt to stand on his head. Or stand on his shoulders the whole way down. Kind of just
Okay.
guiding herself along the pole.
Make a dexterity save.
Save or check, it doesn't matter.
Save, yeah. Okay. So as you do, you're like, huh. As he kind of takes a step down, you go, huh, huh. Make one more dex save, see if you can kind of catch yourself. Okay. So you stumble off his shoulders, and as you fall down, you kind of instinctively like latch onto his back. Let's see, can he hold on? Okay, so he kind of gives a little bit. God damn it! I hate this fucking job. As he kind of just climbs the rest of the way down and kind of deposits you on the ground. Oh God! Oh God! Why did I do that?
Did you see anything up there, Katrina?
There's a couple groups of people up there, down in the slums. It didn't really look like anything was gathering wise though. I appreciate your service to us. I hope you have a great day.
As he just kind of gathers up his stuff and walks back with his group.
The
Okay.
streets here are quite nice, considering they have no wall.
Alright, so, Carrick, we're going to jump to you now. So, as you walk in the shop, you are greeted with a building that has a lot of, there's actually a lot of tapestries and a lot of kind of flowing curtains in this area. You're hit with the smell of, like, incense and spices almost. And as you walk in, you see kind of an older man standing behind the register who kind of just watches you walk as you approach before he eventually calls out, "Oh, hello, how can I help you?"
Good afternoon.
Good
I
afternoon to you.
was wondering what sort of wares you had. I was told that this was a close to a general store, and I was wondering if you might have some vials that I could purchase.
Vials of what exactly?
Vials to hold liquid.
Oh, empty. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be filled, but just the empty vials is fine.
Yes, I have a couple. Just give me one moment. And you see he kind of turns around and walks around the counter and starts heading down one of the little mini aisles. Vials. And he kind of pulls a box out from the shelf and about how many?
How much do they cost?
About a copper piece each.
Then I will take 10.
Very well. And you see him kind of scooping out one at a time and putting him into a small bag. Pushes the shelf back in and kind of waddles back to you. Here you go. 10 copper.
Go ahead and pay him.
Thank you very much.
And if I can do a perception check to kind of see what else is kind of around in the store.
Sure.
Oh, no, I already know how much that's going to cost. Does it have a healer's kit? I know it's going to cost a pretty penny, but just to see if they actually have them.
Are you looking or are you asking him?
Oh, yeah, I can just ask him.
Okay. God damn it. As you ask, I may have a very rudimentary healer's kit. Give me a moment. This time, instead of walking in the aisles, he kind of walks into a little bit of a back room. He's back there for about 2-3 minutes before he eventually comes back out with a very small bundle. Well, I do have this. It'll do the trick. It's not the best quality, unfortunately. I'm not really proficient in these types of wares.
And how much would this cost?
Well, let me just check my ledgers. As I Google how much a health kit costs.
10 gold, I think.
That sounds about right. Here's kit. Yeah. Okay. Well, probably about 10 gold would secure you this lovely health kit.
Well, that is a fair price, but maybe another day. Unfortunately, now that I now know that you have it, I may come back and procure it from you on another day.
Oh, very well. You know where to find me.
Yes. Thank you kindly.
Thank you. Come again. As he goes back
I'll
to
go
kind
ahead.
of writing his ledgers.
I'll go ahead and leave. Okay. Empty vials.
Okay. What would you guys like to do next?
Head to the slums.
Okay. So, as you guys are all back together, as you head to the slums, make investigation checks.
Sure.
Anyone who wants to be kind of asking around for that's so.
Have you seen any assholes wearing badges on their chests?
Have you seen the arseholes?
I'm looking for assholes with badges. What? Okay. So,
We're just gonna walk
No,
into
they don't have any badges. No.
We're gonna walk into the Spaceballs town.
So as you guys enter the slums, the first thing you notice is immediately the decreasing quality of life here and the decreasing quality of the buildings. Katrina, you saw this firsthand being on top of the general store. Every single house here is made of just beat to shit wood or cracked and disgusting looking stone. And none of them go above 1 story. Many of them they're just, the only reason they're considered a house is because they have 4 walls and something on the top. That's really about it. As you walk, Thorin, with your investigation check, even with that, you do notice that this is where all the beggars are. But as you kind of walk around asking about the assholes with badges,
You're going to see the arseholes. Come on.
most of them just kind of look at you and just seem very startled. The rest of you kind of ask around. Takes you about half an hour before you finally reach someone who turns to you. What do you want to know?
I hand him 1 gold, and I say everything.
Oh,
Ooh. Before he starts talking, though, I want to cast his Zone of Truth on his ass.
okay. Is that a charisma save?
That is a...
Wisdom?
Was it wisdom? Oh, it is charisma. Okay.
Oh, it is charisma.
Okay. What's your DC?
My DC is 14.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, it says that let's see, you know whether the creature succeeds or fails on its saving.
Okay. So with a 19 on the die, he succeeds.
Okay, I hand him in a gold. He's a beggar. Enough for me.
So you give him 2 gold at this point?
No, I gave him like a
Okay.
single gold.
As you hand him the gold, he kind of you see him wince a little bit as you feel like he probably feels the effect of this spell, and kind of looks up at you, Carrick. Well, I might know a couple things. Sorry, haven't eaten in a while. Memory's a little fuzzy.
It does. It also does say that says when they start their turn, they must make a charisma saving throw. So it would be a constant, over and over again thing. But go ahead.
Let me see.
It says until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell.
Yeah, I
for the
just
first
wasn't
time
sure
or
if
starts its turn.
Ow. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was one of those things if it saves, he's immune to it. Okay. So as he says that, let me see. Okay. So he looks at you. Well, the things that I do know, I've lived here for a couple years now, and recently, friends, family, people living here have just gone missing. All we know is that these people rolled into town one day and now they're gone.
Is it primarily targeted in this part of the town, or are they targeting everywhere?
He kind of looks at the gold piece and kind of taps his head. Sorry, just
Never
fuzzy.
Give a beggar more.
I look at him straight in the face. I just gave you enough money to eat for a month. I'm trying to save your city.
Here, roll another check. Okay.
Here we go. Let's see how this works. I'm very short. I'm not persuasive.
Here you go. I got one better. I don't.
As you attempt good cop, bad cop.
That's because you knew you would roll lower.
Yeah.
So as
I'm
you
not
two
intimidated.
lean in and attempt bad cop, good cop, bad cop.
I'm not there. I'm just rolling that.
Oh, that would have been so good. Okay.
I've wandered off looking for assholes.
Wearing badges.
Wearing badges.
So you guys attempt good cop, bad cop. As at this point, Carrick, you feel that he's failed the saving throw on the Zone of Truth, and he just kind of looks at you both. 2 gold is a lot better than 1.
Well, you'll get 2 gold when you answer the question.
I've already got the 1.
Okay.
Can I do?
How about we
all
do
right,
it
hold
this
on.
way? Thorin!
Gold.
I was gonna see if he...
Where are the
I'm
bastards with
surprised.
badges?
I hear him, but do I see any children?
Any children? Yeah. With that perception check, you do.
What are they doing?
You see a group of 3 kids that seem to be having a game of catch.
Cool. Alright. I walk over to them. I pull the bone dice that I carry. How are we doing today?
Hello.
You live around here.
Yeah. I do. They live well, this is my street. They live not this street because this is mine, but if you go that way around the street, not this one, the one there, that's their street.
Alright.
Man, Chili's
So you all live around here. That was he's just using Valhan's voice.
I know.
Alright. And do you know gone missing lately?
Make a persuasion check. Because as you mentioned that, they kind of, all three of them kind of seem to recoil a little bit.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna do it. I'm looking for the people who took them. See if I can find them.
It's okay.
Okay, so, two of them kind of still keep backing up, but the one that you were talking to kind of stands and kind of leans in a little bit. I don't really know a lot, but most of them go missing around there. And he kind of points down an alleyway.
In there? Why
Yeah.
you playing so you don't want to play so close to a place like that.
It's okay. And what he holds up is the thing they're playing catch with. It's a black rock. There's a wizard that came through, and this fell out of his bag, so it's magic, and it keeps them away.
That's good for Thorin.
It is a rock.
It is a rock. Cool.
It is a rock.
Tell you what. I think you know a little more than you're telling me. I take one of these. I hand them each a dice. Said, we're gonna play a little game.
Ooh, the other two now rejoin the conversation at the prospect of a game.
Now,
Lauren.
you have to agree. You have to agree that when you win, I'll give you something if you give me a little bit of information.
Okay.
Alright. We'll each roll a dice. Whoever gets the highest gets a prize.
All right, let me grab 3 dice. Actually, I'll roll in the chat.
If I win, I get the information for free.
Okay, you're on.
Aye.
And then all 3 of them roll their die. Oh!
Metal's using his magic right now. He goes on the hacks. He's like, I got this.
I got this.
So,
Right?
as the 3
One
roll,
to me.
yeah, the first one rolls the 1, and the 2 go, and just kind of roll theirs, and then as Thorin rolls his, and it comes up 6, they see them just, ooh.
Alright. Who knows something else?
And they kind of look,
Seen anybody shifty going around here?
to each other, and you hear them kind of whispering to each other, and they kind of all turn back. We don't really know. We don't look at their faces. They're really scary. They have these like cloaks, and people go down there to meet with them, and they just don't come back, and we don't really know why. My dad said to stay away from it, but I was like, Dad, that's the best place with the rocks. Like, there's a lot of rocks here. If you look, there's a rock over here. I found a rock here yesterday, and it's not the same shape as the rock I had before from the wizard, but it's still pretty cool. And then, wait, what'd you ask me?
You've answered the question. Well done. Let's play again.
Okay. All right, so they roll their die.
6.
Okay. So this time, as they roll, the two of them that roll ones go, ah! And the one who hasn't spoken yet, this tiny girl, rolls her die, and it comes to 3. I win!
It looks like you do.
Now we get to hear Chili's tiny girl voice.
I hand her silver.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Now I've paid for the information. What do you know?
Well, I saw someone go back there like a couple minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah.
On purpose? They weren't being dragged down there?
No, he had a little hood, and he was looking around. He was being really weird, and we were playing a catch, and I wanted to talk to him, but he looked really weird. But then he just kind of went down the alleyway like he was looking for someone.
How long has this been going on? How long has people been going missing for?
And she kind of looks back to the older kid, who looks to you, Thorn. Well, I think the first person that went missing was supposed to be about a month ago.
That's a long time. I hear a lot of people have gone missing. And then your family gone missing.
The boy and the girl both shake their heads no, but the third child, also a boy, kind of nods and kind of looks down at the mud.
I put my hand on his shoulder. I'll find out what happened to them. Don't you worry. Here. Give me my dice back. I hand them each 2 silver.
Ooh. Okay. So they hand the dice back. You hand them the silver. And they all kind of look at it and look to each other, all beaming and smiling.
You've been good sports. Thank you for playing with me.
Thanks, mister. As the older boy and the girl kind of skip off. And the third boy kind of looks up at you. And kind of, you see it big brown eyes, just kind of looks up at you with the 2 silvers. And as the other 2 run away, he takes a couple steps, comes back, and actually tries to hug you. And as he does, he whispers, I miss my dad. Please bring him back. And then he lets go, and
I can't promise you that. But I can promise I can find out what happened.
he lets go and rejoins the other 2 as they kind of skip along down the street.
I follow the cry of Katrina back after I have gleaned my information.
Meanwhile, for the past 5 minutes, you already have a gold, but I want more. But you have it!
Oh, sorry. Yes, Katrina. What can I do for you?
This stupid bastard won't give me more information. Can you threaten him? Because I'm cute.
Sure.
I pull my hammer.
No.
Oh! Yes! Woohoo! That one! So, as you pull the hammer out, he looks to you.
Falls on the ground. I drop it.
Yeah, your hand's still muddy from rolling the dice in the mud, and it drops. At which point, Katrina just snaps.
You see Thorin's face getting redder and redder and redder. He dropped it on his toe. And he's trying to hold it in.
So, Katrina, is there anything specific you say as you basically lose your goddamn mind?
Katrina watches Thorin do the old man thing where he drops the thing, and he's a little bit too drunk to actually be able to pick it up.
Yep.
And she just looks, sighs, and goes to a little bit more of an aggressive stance, and pulls out the pepper box and approaches him and grabs him on the shoulder, points the pepper box to his head. Give us the information or die.
Immediately, he drops the gold coin he's holding, and his eyes kind of go wide. Okay.
Katrina, you know it's fine. I already have information.
No, it's fine. I paid for this information. I'm fucking getting it.
I mean, you can take your gold here, look.
No, he can have the gold. I don't need the gold.
No, you can have it back. It's fine. I actually don't know
See,
anything.
he doesn't even want it.
I didn't want it. I've never seen anything. Just please let me go.
See, what you're saying is that you don't have any information.
Katrina,
No.
we're not gonna kill a beggar.
No. I don't know what answer lets me go.
I already have the information, Katrina. You don't need to threaten him.
I don't like useless people.
You'll find a few of them in here.
She takes she puts her pistol away, takes out her hand axe from her back, or from her satchel, and presents it to him originally blade out in an aggressive stance, and then tosses it and flips it. It says, "Go cut wood in the woods. At least you'll be useful that way." And then starts to walk off.
He kind of grabs it. Okay. And you see him just kind of stumble and get up out of the mud and kind of run off down the street.
Anyway, as I was saying, my investigative abilities have got us some more information.
Or you need to practice on the whole being scary on demand thing.
I mean, I'm a little drunk. I can
I'm a
fight
holy
when I'm
man.
drunk, but intimidating. Anyway, so my informants have told me that there's an alley down here that hooded figures have been meeting in.
Okay, let's go.
Seems like a good place to start.
So, are we going in the
Wait a
walk in the
minute.
front door approach?
Where's
Or
the
we-
other elf? Wait, where's the
I
Roven
was about
and
to
the other
say,
elf?
because he said he was going to the
to the town hall.
A long time ago.
Thought
Yeah.
I wouldn't even
Yeah.
have noticed they walked off.
He went to the town hall.
I'm-
Is that
I mean,
within
like,
120
out of
feet?
character, this happened a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's in
So-
like 120 feet, like I want to try at least attempt the message cantrip and just like, hey, we got some information.
So when you and Akoki went to the town hall, what were you guys attempting to do?
Well, I just wanted to get information on those who have been kidnapped, basically.
Okay. Yes, you would have some time while they were doing their discussions. As you enter the main.
Ideally, if I got a chance to speak, this would have happened before.
Sorry,
the
guys.
been found.
Just shadow. We're assholes.
We are the assholes.
Okay.
We are.
Campaign?
Okay, yeah, so as you head back towards the town hall, you would recognize the building as the one that has the most wardens stationed around it. And as you approach, one of the wardens kind of looks to you. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm from Anarta. I'm a war dancer, and while it doesn't quite concern me, I did decide that I wanted to look into some of the kidnappings that have been going on lately.
Oh, okay. How can I help?
I would like a printed or drawn or anything like that map of the city, along with the reports of all the kidnappings in terms of where they were, as well as information on each person, whether what their employment was, the family, social status, anything that would help.
Okay. Make a perception check. Or not perception, sorry, persuasion. Okay. So, as you kind of rattle off, you get the sense that with the more officially you talk, the more you're kind of like overwhelming him, like, okay. And you see him kind of turn and head into the building. And eventually, after a couple minutes pass, make sure I have the correct. Okay, so eventually, a figure emerges from the town hall. The guard that went in, the wardens so far have what look to be long sleeve red shirts with like a black onyx colored chest plate. And emerging from the town hall is the same guard, now with a figure who has sort of like studded leather armor with different buckles around it. Has sort of like a black handlebar mustache with a little bit of a goatee. And as he walks out, I hear you're looking for investigation. Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
I see. What's your name?
Faywin.
Faywin. Very nice to meet you. I'm one of the investigators here in Newsham. Apparently you've come all the way from... Where was it again?
It was Drusatta. I haven't come for you or the city or anything, but I figured that I could help with these kidnappings, and therefore I am providing my services.
Very well. I'm going to be honest with you, Faywin. I have 100 other things to do, so if you want to take this off my hands, I'd be more than obliged. And he presents to you a small folder that seems to have a bunch of papers in it.
Okay, yeah, I'll take the papers and try to find any, like, if there's any correlations in terms of who is getting kidnapped, and then also using the map to try to, like, you know those detective things where someone's got a map on the table and they're, like, drawing X's and stuff, and then they find a circle. Basically doing that as well.
Okay. Roll an investigation check with advantage because he did give you basically all of his information. You get the assumption that this guy is just not in the mood to deal with this sort of thing. Okay. So there actually is one of those maps already in this file. There's no shape or anything that comes about from it. But what you notice is the disappearances. There's no clear shape, but they're timed. So the first disappearance seems to be close to a location. It's almost like it's spreading outward, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job explaining it. So, like, if the first disappearance was here, where that, like, the disappearances are now getting further and further out from that central spot.
And is the central spot basically where the first X you drew?
Basically, yes. It's like almost dead set in the middle of Belfort.
Epicenter.
Basically, yes. Thank you. I should have known what that word was.
Source.com.
You know, I thought with Will gone, we'd be over that shit.
No, I gotta uphold it.
He's gotta make up for Will.
I still, when I look at maps out of the game, I still find little mini thesaurus.com things. You fucking assholes. One of them was so fucking small and you hid it under other letters. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Oh, dickheads. Cool. Awesome. Anyway, yes.
There's a couple like that, actually.
Oh, yeah. You haven't found them all, I can assure you.
Fucking
By
dickhead.
the way, I have not done any of that, so...
That's all that we will be.
Suddenly a Tarrasque it rips from the ocean.
I'm sure Will logs into Roll20 just to do it when he's not using it.
You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit.
That would be so great.
Yeah, it would.
Okay, so Faywin, you feel like you have a pretty good lead of the epicenter of where these kidnappings began. And in terms of who's going missing, make another investigation check, actually.
Also perception, or also advantage, or not?
Yes.
Not advantage. I'll just click the advantage thing this time.
Okay. The one thing you notice is there's nothing that connects them to each other, but one very common theme is these seem to be people that have no other connections in the city. Be it orphans, beggars without family, travelers who came in and just vanished. None of them seem to have connections anywhere else. It's almost, you're starting to put together the picture of they're trying to get people who, because there's no connections, there's no hurry to figure out why they're missing.
They ain't from around here.
Basically, yes. Or, like, it's the deplorables who we don't give a shit about.
Okay. I will take the. I'll probably just need to take the map back.
Okay. So you hand the rest back to the investigator?
Yep.
Okay. As you do, you take the map out, hand the file back. All right, well, good luck to you. Yeah, if you need me,
I'd like to know.
yeah, of course. Yeah, if you ever need me, I'm Investigator Cavett. Let's spell that out, too.
Yeah, spell it.
K-A-V-E-T-T?
Close.
No.
Yeah.
C-O-V-E-T.
As he turns and heads back in the building.
I'm assuming Faven catches up to us just as Thorn's trying his intimidation technique.
Yeah, I will say that. You show up just as the hammer clunk lands right on his foot. You.
So basically, as I turn to walk away from this whole thing, there they are,
Yes.
walking past the alleyway.
Yes. So you guys are all now. Where you guys are right now, you're probably about right here. Not too far down the street, down the byway from the town hall.
Okay. And you marked the first disappearance being like right there.
Yes.
Is that the alleyway with the kid mentioned?
So these are just the streets. There are. It's actually this alleyway here is the one that he mentioned.
Gotcha.
Oh, I'll roll perception. See if I see Faven. And a big fucking... Nope. Nope. Don't see a big fucking panther, Faven, or a cookie. My toe is fucking sore.
Ah, Faven, there you are.
Well, talking about
Right here.
So, Thorin, if you pick the hammer off their foot, you can turn around and see him.
I stole my hammer.
Okay. So now that you guys are all gathered together, in front of you lies the alley that, according to Thorn's information, the kids saw someone go down recently. Faywin, this alleyway also lines up a little bit with what this pattern you're seeing in these maps as well.
Where have you been?
I've also been investigating, and whatever information I got was about the same as yours, so we can double check that.
My informants say this alley is the place where they're meeting, so it's probably the place where they're hiding out, whether it be above ground or underground.
And the kidnaps originated from around this location, so...
Oh well, it seems like our information leads to the same spot. So let's have a look.
Lucky us.
See what we can find.
Okay.
Let's be sneaky about it.
I'm just gonna stand back and watch this after Thorn says this.
I marched straight down the alleyway.
Are you actually trying to be stealthy about it?
Nope. Hammer's
Okay.
out.
Perfect. All right. So as you march down the alleyway, eventually it does open up into a. Okay. So, Faye, when you kind of like blend into the wall as you move your way down the alleyway, it eventually opens up into a smaller little courtyard, where the first thing you guys notice is a well. Around it, there's a couple different kind of battered doors, broken in windows. It seems empty at the moment. The only major fixture is just the giant well in the middle of the courtyard.
I will roll this to see if there has been any recent movement around the well.
Looking down, as this area is so shitty, literally and figuratively, you do see footprints in the mud, which you hope is mud, moving around this courtyard, kind of coming in, going out other ways. With that investigation check, you do realize that there is one set of footprints that reaches the well and stops.
Do the footprints appear to be made from well-made boots or beggar's feet?
With that investigation check, yeah, you'd be able to tell. They actually seem to be well-made boots.
Is there any smell coming from this well? Does it appear to be fresh water, or does it lead into a source?
Make another investigation check.
Sure.
You smell nothing. Not like you don't smell anything bad. You smell nothing.
Okay.
I look down the well.
Yeah.
Oh well, if they're breaking stealth.
As
Well,
you,
I wasn't really stealth. I mean,
so as you look,
Faywin was.
yeah.
Faywin disappeared.
David was, yeah.
as
Well,
you,
everyone else is just making so much noise, I might as well.
as you look down the
I
well,
want chainmail.
about 3 to 4 feet down, you see the gently rippling water.
Interesting.
Can I?
I throw a rock in.
Okay. You pick up the rock, and you drop it, and it
There's no sound.
no sound.
Okay. Hold.
Can I roll Arcana?
Sure.
Well, in for a rock.
I jump in.
Okay. Carrick and Katrina. So Carrick, you.
Actually, before that, because I have to say it before you tell me, I want to use my feet to re-roll that
Okay.
because that's a non-combat. Yep. No.
Okay.
Nothing.
So, Carrick, you look over and you identify it as some sort of illusion magic. Katrina, as you look, oh, minor illusion. As Thorin just cannonballs and just falls through this imaginary water.
Hey guys,
My fault.
it's an illusion. Bye, Thorin.
I'll use my hammers on either side of the well just to sort of slow my descent.
Okay.
I was gonna see if I could do a perception to see if there were steps going down the well, like in the wall.
Okay.
'Cause I'm
You can roll.
assuming if someone's using this as a pathway, there's some form of way to
Yeah,
get up and down.
You can roll a perception check. So, Thorin, as you bring your hammers out, you slide down a little bit. It's not too much of a fall. It's about an extra probably 10 feet after you hit the imaginary water level.
Yeah.
Carrick, you see a very rudimentary rope, as well as like some sort of like footholds.
I will descend down into the well.
I will roll this. Alright. I land.
Classic 3-point landing with the hammer on the bottom as Carrick.
Head down. I look up. What do I see?
Okay. As you look up, you see what looks to be some sort of sewer system. In front of you, there are 2 tunnels. One that runs to your left, one that runs to your right. Carrick, as you descend, you also now see the same thing. Are the rest of you guys heading down the well as well?
Yeah, I'll use the rope.
Heading down as well. Okay. Yeah, so with the rope, you can very easily scale your way down.
Is it dark down here?
Yes, there is dim light. There's a couple.
Only my,
What's that?
with only my feet.
Just
Very
run
well.
around the well as you go down.
Very well done. So, as you get to the bottom with the 2 tunnels, there is flickers of torchlight, almost kind of like if you could imagine like a Paris catacomb, sort of the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just has the smell of just dank standing water. So there's definitely mold and just mildew down here.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Once everybody's down and stop moving, I listen.
Okay. Anyone who'd like to? Oh, okay. Anyone else can make perception checks as well. So Thorin, as you kind of like close your eyes for a second. Yeah, go ahead, Kirk.
Is the panther with us? And
No.
how did it get into the well?
No, actually, the panther remained up on the top. Before you all went down, you saw Akoki kind of like give it a couple orders, and she climbed down the well as well. But the panther is staying up and kind of just going about his way up in the town. Most likely heading back to the tavern because the panther can do
Katrina's
that.
going down the well after Akoki.
Okay.
Once a cookie's down,
Because of that.
Make a dex save. See if you can grab. Okay, so you kind of and kind of like grab the rope at the last second and kind of slam into the side of the wall and kind of bounce for a second. Not taking any damage, but just a little. Just kind of knock the wind out for a second.
once the cookie goes down and I don't see the panther, I say, smart. The panther's the lookout.
Yeah.
Did you want to
Yep.
carry it down into the well?
No, because it's a lookout. It's a lookout. I knew that. Okay, so Thorin, you kind of close your eyes, and as you listen, with the two tunnels, you do hear the sound of just kind of like a little bit of running water down the leftmost tunnel. Down the rightmost tunnel, you do hear bits and pieces of conversation kind of bouncing off the walls.
Alright then. Stealth up. Let's go.
Do I get advantage on stealth because I'm going to be walking behind Thorin?
Oh, Thorin's not walking.
Why do you keep saying stealth up? I'm so confused.
Because I say it to the rest of them, because the rest of them can stealth while I charge in.
I'm going to attempt. I'm going to use sharp mind part of my feat to negate the disadvantage of my stealth roll.
Okay.
So, because chainmail, automatic disadvantage. No, doesn't matter. No, I can't roll worth shit tonight.
Okay.
With the help of Thorin and Carrot.
Yeah. I'm just gonna walk. I'm walking next to Thorin. We're just taking a stroll down the sewer.
To be fair, even with the 5, you're probably not going to be seen as I charge in there screaming.
So, as you guys, Thorin and Carrick taking the lead, heading down this tunnel, Katrina and Faywin kind of mold into the shadows around, and that's actually where we're going to end tonight's session. As you guys are heading deeper into the catacombs under Newsham.
Here. Thanks, Chilii.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we
Glad
got to
you're-
stream in one try.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
One
so
try.
great.
So
No
great.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, right?
Totally.
No technical
At all.
difficulties. So cool. It's like amazing when things work out. I love when a plan comes together. Oh, God damn it.
Our plan comes together.
And we're now level 5.
Yes, you guys are also level 5, yes. So you would have had all your level 5. Yeah. So
Okay,
you would
so
have
we're-
all your level 5 abilities during this coming encounter because you would have slept once you reach Newsham.
Awesome. I will go and work all on that. I want to see how many rolls I actually got above 10. 1.
Oh, God damn it.
2.
Shit's about to get real in these catacombs with that extra attack. That's true.
So.
Okay. Any other announcements before we get going?
Join us on Thursday and Friday, 7 Central Standard Time on my channel. Friday, Saturday. Is that what did I say?
Yep.
You say Thursday, Friday?
Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, on 7 Central Standard Time on my channel. For some
Exclamation
well
point.
done action.
Medal in the trap.
Well done, Chilii. Well done. Your
Woo!
mods suck.
Yeah. Then so Friday and Saturday over Metal's channel. Come back here on Tuesday for Drusatta. Also, for those in chat, if you do exclamation point Drusatta, you get the link to my World Anvil page. You guys can follow along. For instance, I just added entries to Newsham and the Drunken Dragon earlier today. So you can read about that, get a little bit better idea of what the town's like, as well as the tavern. And we'll be adding up different recaps of the
Some
sessions.
recaps of all the episodes.
Yeah. So you can follow along, even though some dumbass doesn't run his game for a month and a half because his life sucks. So, yeah.
So-
I'm sorry for this as well. I get my second wondrous invention, the rope of useful items.
I know. I know.
Oh, yeah.
I looked through it earlier today and facepalmed for about an hour and a half. So,
Also, I'm not the slowest one in the group anymore because my movement is 35.
Hey, you run as fast as us.
All right. Also in the chat, Twitter, Discord, all that fun stuff. Be sure to join, do all that cool stuff, and we will catch you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.
I can now destroy undead.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, mute you so I can say it last.